Filmmaker Alejandro Montoya joins us this morning, along with Jeff from World Class Bullshitters, as we kick off this Monday on Midnight's Edge in the morning. Good. Whoa. I think that was Alejandro.
Yow!
Whoa.
I had to beat that.
Well, it's Monday. It's Monday, isn't it?
There we go.
It sure is.
That goes with it. Yeah.
I think you have to turn off the other stream there, Alejandro. Oh, it's not you? You sure?
Well,
Okay.
we'll get to it. Yeah, I'm not use a headset. That's more advisable.
Yeah, if you don't have a headset,
feedback from the speakers if you have them. So yeah, but while we get that sorted out, Tom, what do we have planned for today?
well, we're going to talk a little bit about Marvel, and we're going to talk to Alejandro about his film and some other good stuff. You're muted right now, Alejandro. I don't know if you saw that or not, but yeah.
Yes, sir. First of all, hello to everyone. Thank you so much for having me. That was not that mistake. That audio stuff.
I have no idea. It happens, though. But anyhow, good morning, everybody out there in YouTube land. Hope everybody's having a great day. We got Andre with us, the boss man. How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing excellent. Thank you. I'm very, very excited for today. We have a lot of cool stuff to talk about. And it just became even cooler since Marvel dropped like a Phase 4 tease, or what you want to call it, on us. So, yeah, that's something.
Yeah, that was quite the teaser this morning.
Yeah, tease is the appropriate word. Yeah,
tease is definitely the
cool is the accurate word to describe it, Andre.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Don't you worry about that.
And then we also have Rob with us.
Yes, how's it going, everybody? Everybody in the chat wondering, wanting the kazoo. I'm telling the kazoo is only for the night show. Listen, I'll show you the kazoo, okay? But I'm not going to play it. That's for the evening show, people.
And then we
That's all you
had
get.
Paulie here, but then he left.
I feel like you've said that a lot before, Rob,
Yeah, he has.
for the night show only.
These night shows are crazy, I hear.
Yeah,
It
they're
is
fun.
completely off the hook, as the kids would say.
Anyhow, when Paulie gets back here, we'll ask how he's doing. But Jeff, how are you doing, buddy?
Oh, dude, I am on top of the world. No one could be happier right now. We had a great stream.
Yeah.
We closed out the comic for the most part, and I spent yesterday relaxing, and now back on the grind.
Awesome. And you still got, are you still plugging away? Are you still, should I say, you got another day or so left on the campaign altogether, or is it done?
Well, so the way it works is the campaign's actually closed, but
Okay.
anyone who backs it in demand will still get counted into the magnet number. So we're like 172 away. And so tomorrow night on the High Council is when I'll officially say, if you backed it by the end of this show, Eastern Standard Time, you'll get your free magnet set. And if you haven't, that was for in demand only. So it's kind of an agreement like that.
Gotcha. All right. So check that out, folks.
Are we still unlocking the different magnets, or is that done?
I think there's still 2 left.
Yeah.
Right.
So anybody that wants to get Anna, that's what we got to do. We got to move to get Anna, because I'm the next one and we can get to me, but everybody wants Anna in the gold Leia bikini. So
Make it happen, people.
I would say phrasing, but I don't have to. Because I don't think anybody's going to argue with either phrasing. But Alejandro, welcome to the channel, buddy. Saw your film yesterday.
Thank you so much, man.
Yes, it's an interesting movie. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's called Monday. It's a short film.
And the link to it is in the description. Also, it's not a short film though. It's a short feature film. That's what it is.
I guess you'd call it. Well, the movie itself is like what, about 45 minutes, and then like the credits have like some like goofs and all that kind of stuff in them that kind of bring it out to about an hour. But yeah.
It's I think it's like 58 minutes, like you said, with the bloopers, because we made the movie under like really weird circumstances and the credits, so it's more just an hour of your time, if that.
It was a little entertaining. It was at first. The first part was a little jarring, trying to get the hang of what was going on.
Yeah.
But the only thing that stuck out to me that I gotta ask you, what is with the cell phones, man? He changes cell phones twice.
Dude, the continuity in this movie is shitty, but we have an excuse for that. We did the movie. Do you guys follow Robert Rodriguez's career?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Robert Rodriguez, he did that amazing book, Rebel
Well, I'm
Without
just picking on you. That's like the worst thing to gripe about, by the way.
Oh, no, dude. You want to hear something funny? We were in New York at the Soho Film Festival, and there was like an 8-year-old girl that was like, had a question. I'm like, oh, yes, please, the little girl over there. And she goes, why do the characters always have different phones? And I'm like, I hate you. Yes, good job. Even she could tell.
No, it's just a minor thing.
Yeah, it's incredible what one picks up on, and who picks up on what. But we are going to go into your movie in detail. To everyone wondering which movie we are talking about Alejandro Marin, writer and director's movie Monday, and you can see it by going down into the description because there is the link to it. I've already put it there, so everyone do share that. And we're going to talk about exactly what this movie is, how it came about, and on whose label, spoiler, Robert Rodriguez, and everything else. But before we get into that, first I want to say greetings to everyone that's joined us in the chat so far. I see we have quite a few members here. We have Sander Hammerslag is here, Darius Münchhausen is here, Prince Andrew is here, Caris is here, our ever-trusted wrench Natasha is here, and she is, of course, sharing the link to Alejandro's movie Monday right here. And yes, that's right, short film, not a short, but a short feature film.
Yeah.
So yeah, do check that out. And we have many other regulars. Yeah, here we have so special greetings to you and your mother. Polly from the Latino stand, he's here. He's with us in spirit and outside, but the internet connection in his current location is a little bit wonky, so we'll see if he joins us over the course of the show or not. But in the meantime, we have a great show for you anyway. We have gotten a couple of super chats in already. Stargate 404 says for $5. Thank you for keeping me company, Mead. I've been kicking my ass by the second dose of the vaccine. No, I've been kicked on my ass by the second dose.
Everybody keeps saying that. Y'all are making me worry about getting a second dose.
Tom, if you want to feel better, I got a second dose of the vaccine. I was completely fine. If you're that concerned. I mean, so you're getting what, the Pfizer or the Moderna?
The Moderna, I think.
Okay, well, it's different for everybody. So Stargate 404, hope you feel better soon. But
yeah, let's hope so. And Merlin's Id says for $10, thank you so much. Marvel needs to reboot and change gears. They had a perfect finale with Endgame, and everything subsequent is cheapening that. Politicization is a sure indicator of stagnation. Hail Midnight's Edge. Well, thank you, and we'll get into that. So just hold that thought. But I'm going to get through a couple of super chats first. Then we'll talk the Marvel's Phase 4 tease video that they dropped on us, like literally just before the show. That's actually part of the reason why we were late today. I have to give credit to Jeff, who was like, "There's not a snow news day. Marvel dropped that." So yeah, thanks for that, Jeff, because you paid attention. So yeah,
that's what I'm going to right after this. So
yeah, and Roger H sent us a super sticker, so thank you so much for that. And that's all I can get up on screen. But we'll be going through the classic super chats after saying hi to Polly. Are you with us, Polly?
I sure hope so.
Polly
Houston, we have a problem.
Yeah. Polly is evidently not with us, or he's with us in spirit, but not a little
I
beyond.
thought I heard
that.
him come through for like a second.
Yeah. And then the classic super chats that I can no longer get up on screen. Stephen Otten says, "Greetings, Midnight's Edge guests, wrenchers, and midnighters. Reliable sources inform me that it is indeed Monday." Yes, today is Monday, and in more ways than one, so hold that thought. And Taker610 says, "That new Marvel promo? Indeed, get into that." Eric
Polly.
Winberg sent us a little doggy super sticker. Is Polly with us?
I think so. You there, Polly? No.
Yeah,
No.
I'm
Then
here.
There he is. There he is.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
How's it going, Polly?
It's Monday, and the movie is called Monday, and it's Cinco de Mayo, and all kinds of stuff. Yay!
And you can't get online.
I mean, I'm on my new iPhone 12, but
I could tell you were on the phone, yeah.
I'm traveling. But no, it's I'm at Mexican Iron Man's place, and we're having major internet issues.
Tell him I said hi. I like that guy.
Mikey.
Jeff says hi. He likes you. World class bullshitters.
Oh, what up? Oh my God! No way!
What's up, dude?
For those wondering, that would be Mexican Iron Man yelling in the background.
Where is he?
What's up?
Hi. I'm Mexican Iron
How you
Man.
doing, man?
Hey, oh my God.
How you doing, Mike?
I always watch you live. I'm a supporter. I'm a patron too. All right, I'm gonna go fix the network. Love you.
All right. I can't wait to talk to that guy again. That was
I
awesome.
love Mike. He's awesome.
We've had a great weekend. We're helping him get ready to move cross country, and then
Yeah.
I just stayed an extra day. I thought I'd be back in LA, but I'm here for a friend, so that's all that matters.
No worries. We'll try to make the best of it. No problem there. But Andre, did we have a few more super chats to get through?
Yes,
then?
we did. We have a couple of more super chats to go through. Eric Winberg sent us a little doggy super sticker, and HyperGyver2 says, "Just saw the preview of Kamala Khan and the announcement of Riri Williams for Disney Plus. The transformation into the MCU is almost complete. Rest in peace, Marvel." So yeah, not much excitement for the new trailer there. Darius Munchausen sent us a popcorn super sticker, and Bud Boy Production says, "Good morning, just paying my dues. Hail Midnighters." Well, hail to you. And says, "Hi, gents. Hello, everyone." So thank you so much for that. And Dash D's says, "Rob, there's a very large difference in getting the dose a second time and getting the second dose." Yeah, if you say so. And then finally,
I think there's a joke there we missed, maybe.
Yeah, probably. And then Spider Unlimited says, "Tom, I always get sick. Had no problems with shot number 2. So hopefully that will be fine for you." And with that, before we get into the movie Monday, we had Marvel drop a Phase 4 announcement video on us. Well, I don't even know if you would call it that, but
Oh yeah,
but like this like emotional thing that reminds us all why we cared for the MCU in the first place and why we should still continue to care going forward. Now, I trust that all of you on the panel have seen it, because that's why we were so late today. But I don't know if all of you out there in the chat have seen it. Some of you evidently have. So let's begin with what we thought about it. Jeff, why don't we begin with you? Your thoughts on Marvel's reminder of the MCU.
So I am huge into comic books. They have dictated my life's trajectory. I loved the MCU, but the first thing I thought when I saw this trailer was, oh, Jesus Christ, let Stan Lee die. This trailer, folks, is the Rise of Skywalker trailer. What does that mean? The first half of the Rise of Skywalker trailer was old footage from the entire saga. This isn't a trailer for the MCU, or the Phase 4. This is to remind you why you should give money to Disney, because Stan Lee can make you cry. Oh, we're a family. Look, I loved the dude as much as any regular fan would. Let's stop milking his legacy, because as we move on further with the MCU after what we've seen today, this looks anemic, and they're pulling out all the punches and all the stops to get you to open your wallet one more time. And this is a question for everybody moving forward. What in this trailer looked exciting and inspired hope or excitement, anything? Just there's nothing that I saw that I went, oh man, Marvel's back. First off, Marvel never left. Their TV shows have been sucking ass for the last 2 seasons, and now they're back with more movies. Great. That thing died in 2019 with Endgame, the best ending to a movie series ever. Let it go.
You know, Jeff, when you said I'm really into comics and they've influenced me for a long time, I was like, no, really? You don't get.
Did you read disc rotations on comics though?
Never would have guessed that about you, Jeff.
Wait, did you ask me if I wrote a dissertation on comics?
Oh, you might not have seen that. Did you see that video of that crazy like chick who's like, okay, all you guys who think you know comics better than me, you don't know them. I have read so many comics and read disc rotations and
I've read like theses and dissertations.
Yeah, theses and disc rotations.
Well, let me tell that lady directly. I have written academic papers on comic books and received A's, 4.0, excuse me. So, lady out there in the world, please tell me how great you are.
Oh, she was like 10. All right, like she's barely a woman. Let's be real.
Anyway, those were my thoughts on the MCU Phase 4. I just was underwhelmed, and I don't want to take up too much time by complaining.
No, I think you're spot on there, Jeff. I mean, it was a little bit rawer feelings than what I had. I mean, there's the manipulation. I take all that shit out of it. The rest of it, I would have been just fine with them giving us an announcement trailer.
Same. I wouldn't have bitched a single time.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I wouldn't even have had such a problem. Like, it would have been nice to get a couple shots of everything, because we know they've shot Spider-Man. We know they've shot, or they're in the middle of shooting Thor: Love and Thunder. We did get a shot of the Eternals. I mean, but
unmute yourself. Right here, audio.
There's
Hey, Mike.
Paulie and Mexican Iron Man.
He's not wearing his mask.
We know his secret identity now.
I don't think they can hear us.
Yeah. Well, then let's exactly mute them.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah.
Are you sure that it's plugged in?
But yeah, no, like, yeah, basically I kind of felt the same way Jeff did, just not to, I mean, the first part is where all the hate comes from on my part. The rest of it's just like, okay.
Yeah. I'll go with you on that one. It's really not anything to get mad over in terms of movies, just the bullshit. Like, they can't present a good enough series of films to get you to open your wallet, so they're going to take the dead guy that you grew up with, that he didn't voice cartoons, but his voice appeared in cartoons. He was the voice of Marvel.
Let's check it again.
So that's what they're going for. That's where we've reached. We've reached Star Wars levels of desperation.
The volume was down.
We've reached it a lot. We've reached it a lot sooner now, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, record times, Rob.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you about how it, because like that's one of my biggest pet peeves, even of the prequel fucking trailers, when George would throw in a bunch of fucking clips from the other movies. Like, no, give us new shit. Because if anybody remembers, like the first trailer for Episode 1 was like, first half was like a bunch of shit from the first 3 movies. And then they got like 30 seconds of Episode 1 footage, I think it was.
You know, Tom, you bring up a. I'm sorry, who am I interrupting? Paulie?
Can you guys?
I don't think Paulie. We can hear you.
We can hear you, Paulie. Yeah, can you hear us?
Okay.
Thumbs up. That's a good sign.
You can probably turn the cam off. That might help too. I'm not saying you have to, but
Paulie giving us the Bugs Bunny.
He wants to be a boob, and he knows it. But anyway, you were saying, Rob. Sorry.
But the whole, you talk about like getting something new. I'm like, it wasn't that long ago. We were all excited. I'm like, what? A new trailer from Marvel, a new announcement. Oh, what are we going to see now? What new thing are we going to see now? What new? Now it's just mining nostalgia. And like I said, we were doing it in record time. trying to give you the feels like, oh yeah, remember Captain America? Remember when he picked up Millionaire? Remember when Spider-Man turned up? It's all they're going member berries now, and it's because they're not, let's face it, they're not confident in their lineup. And when you're not confident in what you have, now you have to mind the future. Listen, this is like if the New York Yankees said, yeah, we've got a great team. Remember Babe Ruth? Remember Mickey Mantle? Remember when Reggie Jackson? Remember, that would have been a hell of a team. Jesse
It would have been.
Yankees. The issue at hand is not the curve ball, but the issue is the fast ball. But anyway.
Anyway,
yes.
I am somebody.
I just got to say though, Jeff, when I was in college, well, I went to Southern Connecticut State U, which is not going to college, but anyway, I had a teacher that was really adamant that comics weren't real writing, and I said to him, "Listen, I will give you X-Men: The Dark Phoenix Saga. This is all the same stuff you're talking about, but it's just in a slicker package. If you say this after reading it, this is still not real writing." Okay, then you know what? I'll be on board with you. And he know what he said to me? I'm not going to waste my time.
All right.
I'm like, you pompous British ass. I'm like, well, you motherfucker. Oh God. Well, he got Me Too back then, before Me Too was a thing. So.
Oh
Well,
shit.
good going there. But I want to hear from our other esteemed guest of today, Alejandro. What did you think of the Marvel trailer?
I think that everything you guys just said is spot on. I feel that by taking a little, I had this problem with Marvel once Infinity Wars ended. I was incredibly excited. I thought they took a huge risk, and then 2 months later they were announcing Spider-Man. I don't know, the new one, and then a bunch of sequels, and then now Widow. It's like, I don't know, man. I feel like there's no need to reveal 4 or 5 trailers before the movie. I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to like cut down on the trailers, and I'll watch one.
Trailer fatigue, yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch one and that's it, because then we're all adults. We've all been watching movies. We're all getting familiarized with the style of movie making and putting things together, that at the same time, when you go watch it, it doesn't become original, or it becomes kind of like, well, I knew that shot was missing, so I know where the ending is going. Stuff like that. But I completely agree with you. I felt that these 3 minutes, 2.5, were just, remember how much fun you had with phase 1 and 2 or whatever? Now maybe you can have fun with this one. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to josh anyone for they're all working and it's really hard to make a movie, but I'm sure there'll be people that identify with it. I just wasn't one.
Well, most of us are sports fans. Marvel is left with now. Listen, they don't have Captain America. They don't have Robert Downey Jr. They don't have a lot of their heavy hitters. And before you say it's Spider-Man, I'm like, shut up, okay? Like this version of Spider-Man, really? You're calling this version a heavy hitter?
There's a reason Tobey Maguire's going to come back one day.
Well,
yeah. But the point I was going to say is now we are left with essentially the practice squad. And for anyone who follows sports, you know what that means.
Yep.
Well, and actually, Alejandro, I believe you actually have a little room to say something, because you made a movie on probably, I would even say, a smidgen of a budget of a Marvel film. And
it was like the Crafty.
Yeah, exactly. Like the budget that you used for your film Monday, which is linked in the description, that was probably the catering budget
of
for one day.
Yeah.
For the proper Marvel thing. So like you are gonna have to really focus on script, on acting, on direction, all of those things to make the product as good as it can be and squeeze every last dollar out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is something that that they don't have to do here in the same way, so they can afford to relax in all of the things that you have to work on. And I think that actually makes your point of view extra valuable, because you've done the churn. You know what it takes to make a movie.
Yeah, and not only that, I'm sure you would be like, oh, I would have loved to have had those kind of things at my disposal that they do, and not just the money, but like, the cast and the special effects and all.
Oh yeah. And the first of all, thank you for saying that. But yeah, the cast, the schedule, the time, the liberty, you know you can fix a problem later in post. Where it's when we were doing Monday, I was trying to save as much money as possible so I could have a pretty dynamic soundtrack, or else the movie was going to flop. But I feel like in order for the movie to be as entertaining as I think it is, we needed to keep it very high energy. That's what basically what was my goal, like every single second. Like I remember sharing sandwiches with my AD. We would order the sandwiches and we would split it because we're like, we got to save money somehow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if anything, I mean, once we get to your movie, we'll talk about it a little more, but if anything, it's maybe just a kind of a detriment to the story overall that you are so clipping so fast through, because I'm sure part of it may be like the limitations you had for filming, but I almost felt like, oh, you know, it would have been nice to kind of get just a little bit more of the front end of who these other characters were coming in, and, you know, the little bit more of the whole relationship of all the characters that were involved. And
yeah,
I'm sure that's something you would have fleshed out had you a full feature film to do it in.
I think, yeah, definitely. Like it's always been a thing where it's, we only had 14 days to shoot the movie, but we only had like 8-hour days, so 9-hour days, because the way we did this movie was for a reality TV show called Rebel Without a Crew,
right,
based on Robert's book. So we had to move around the schedule of the camera team filming us. So we can only take 8 or 9 hours. So then 1 hour was for transpo to get to the location and then back to complete a 12-hour day with lunch and loading in and out. So it was even more difficult because I feel when we were there, we had to compromise a lot. So we would cherry pick. So in certain shots or certain scenes, we would light it better. We would dedicate dolly. I think I remember doing one shot with a lot of blocking because I wanted to show people, like, I'm not just going to cut from a close-up to a close-up and it's just boring. And then we lose the sound for that one shot. So it was interesting. It was fun.
Awesome. But yeah, like, I mean, as far as the Marvel thing goes, to kind of finish up on that, we got a bunch of logos, guys. That's all we really got. A lot of it we've already seen. We've seen most of these logos already.
But Tom, logos make the world go round.
Yeah, they do. Wakanda Forever was probably the only other thing besides the Captain Marvels or the Marvels or whatever the hell it was called, and the shot of the Eternals, I guess, was about all we got new out of this.
Yeah, I'm still saying this. Marvel, the MCU, is in stasis until the X-Men show up, because if you follow the X-Men, let's say 5 years ago, once they stopped playing hardball with 20th Century Fox, brought back comics, brought back merchandise, brought back all kinds of stuff. X-Men has always been a merchandising gem for Marvel. Once they're in, and we've never had a world where the X-Men can inhabit screens with any other characters like Spider-Man or this and that. To me, that's the next big get. The Fantastic Four, I know I'm in the minority when I say this, but they're not a popular franchise. We all know them because they've been around since 1962, but the movies never caught fire the way any of the other superhero franchises have. I'd say it's in the category with like a Ghost Rider. It came and it went in terms of film. Now, them being the first family of Marvel is awesome for the historians, but over the last, 30 years, they haven't had too many memorable stories. They've been canceled once, maybe twice. They're not that big of a deal. Marvel's going to sell you on the history of it, and some people will buy in. But for Marvel to be mainstream again, give us the X-Men. Once we see Wolverine on screen and he interacts with, Nick Fury or somebody, then Marvel's A-list, top of the charts again. Right now, they're just like, hey, remember how great we were? And we don't give a shit.
Yeah, it is a bit... it does feel a lot like second fiddle shit, like kind of like Rob was saying.
I think that Diego Flores, who we'll talk more about later, actually says, in soccer, especially in South America, we have like 3 tiers of teams. Current Marvel is 3rd division, usually the leftovers of the other 2 divisions. And yeah, that's actually what I got from this trailer as well. This was all emotional manipulation, trying to tell the audience, hey, look at how awesome we were. Remember what you felt. You can feel like that again. Just look at all the awesome stuff we have coming in this tiny little clip show in which we reveal nothing because probably it's not good enough to cause any kind of excitement. And look at these titles. And that's kind of what it was. So, I'm not more excited.
You know, everybody's jizzing themselves.
I can say something.
Oh, sure. Sorry, Paulie. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, we didn't know if you even saw it yet.
No, but I wanted to address what Jeff said in regards to Fantastic Four. You know, if they could get it right, Jeff, and appeal to the actually to an older movie-going base, you know, my father, his generation, and in between, it was all about Fantastic Four, Captain America, and the Hulk. I mean, if they could get Fantastic Four right, I don't know, man. I think it would be a huge hit.
I hope it is. I want to enjoy the first family. I want to see the Galactus trilogy on screen. I want to see all these classic Stanley, Jack Kirby moments. But, like, are we going to have like 8 other people say, well, the Fantastic Four represents this, and then bastardize it along the way? Like, make them look like they do in the comic, make them act like they do in the comic. No more interpretation. We've suffered enough with the Fantastic Four.
No, you're right. Actually, I get what, Paulie, you're saying, and yeah, they are. At one time, they were one of the most popular.
Marvel's number one.
You know, out there. But I think Jeff is right. They've been treated so badly in the last few outings, and they've not really been in the public eye in so long that I'm not so sure that they'll have the same impact unless you do something like actually a time period piece with them and kind of find a way to Captain America them into the new Marvel, because as they are, to be able to have them true to their characters, they don't fit in modern day, and we learned that from the last 2-3 movies.
Yeah, I hope. Like I said, I'm with Paulie though. I agree that it could bring in that older generation, because the older Marvel, really, that's why the first Avengers and then all the subsequent ones really work, because it honors the characters. I mean, hell, Paul, if you want to go all the way back, the first Iron Man movie plays the music from the old cartoon. Like, Marvel used to respect the characters, and everyone came out and their families to support these things because they were a big deal. They were good, and they were a good callback. So,
and Raimi did that with Spider-Man. You know.
Oh yeah.
What was the other example? And Captain America. I mean, I thought the Captain Americas were, you know, the first two. I don't know. I even liked Civil War, but
same.
You know, if anyone embodied Captain America, I mean, Evans did a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Winter Soldier is still one of my favorite Marvel movies of all.
Oh, Winter Soldier's fantastic. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, they had directors like Sam Raimi with Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movie. Sam Raimi, you guys probably already know this. He went to his effects artists with old comics and said, "I want you to put Spider-Man in as many of these poses as possible." And that's where they took their inspiration from. And Joe Johnston actually is great with period pieces, and that's why he was able to, and he respects the character Captain America. And I don't see that in anybody that they have lined up. I mean, come on. Fantastic Four, you know they're going to cast somebody like John Cho who was in Star Trek. He played Sulu in Star Trek as the Human Torch or something. You just know they're dying to fuck this up somehow.
That's why I can't get behind it, Rob, because I'm with you, man. They're fucking salivating at the chance to just ruin it again.
Remember, everyone said, remember what Taika Waititi said about Thor? I'll ruin your mythos in a minute, baby. Oh yeah, that's just his sense of humor. Oh, he's trolling. Is it? Is it his sense of humor? Really? You think so? You know, this is one thing. Listen, my mom knew nothing about superheroes and comic books. She knew Superman, she knew Batman, she knew Wonder Woman, all the big ones that are around forever. I showed her a picture of Natalie Portman and said, "Mom, she's going to be a superhero in the next Thor movie." And you know what she said to me? Her? Who's she going to save? I'm like, that's what it's down to. I'm like, really? This? And for the people jizzing themselves over the Eternals, go watch the fucking Captain Planet and the Planeteers. There's your Eternals, okay? That's what I'm worried about.
Go back and watch the Inhumans that failed from Marvel already. Like, I know we're all on the Marvel train, but there are some Marvel failures. And the Inhumans is trying... Eternals, Inhumans, these human groups, or these people super groups that aren't the name brand ones, they're never going to work. because you got to have brand recognition.
Didn't Natalie Portman get all jacked up for the new Thor movie?
HGH.
I think it's just a bodysuit.
Wait, really?
I don't think there's any way she could have bulked up that much in like no time flat. Because like, she may have, but because there was like some video or picture of her from like 2-3 months ago, and like she's not that jacked. So I don't know. It could be, but
she's a 4'11" vegan. How jacked can she get? Without a little help, if you know what I mean. You know, another thing too, like Annihilation. That movie Annihilation she was in. Again, Robert Meyer Burnett talks about verisimilitude. Nobody's going to believe 4'11", 98-pound Natalie Portman is a battle-hardened anything. Okay? And as soon as I'm going to fucking laugh my ass off the first time I see her in that costume, because you know it's going to look like bad cosplay. You just know it.
You
and if I'm wrong,
it's going to be too big.
Yeah. If I'm wrong, I'll gladly admit it. Okay, I was wrong. I've been wrong about other things. And for the people who say, "Oh, what about Guardians of the Galaxy?" Guardians of the Galaxy already had a good foundation to start with. They had great characters. They had great stories. I mean, yeah, they weren't widely known to the public, but come on, Rocket Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon's a great character.
Well, Rob, Guardians of the Galaxy excuse is the Heath Ledger defense, where it's, oh, you can never criticize a casting choice because Heath Ledger one time did a great job. Guess what? Jared Leto did not. So fuck him. And that's exactly why this whole, Guardians of the Galaxy argument is invalid. Because guess what, folks? They make superhero movies all the time based off shit most of you don't know. So don't act like the thing is, the people that use that excuse are a lot of like normies that don't know the comics or characters. It's like, oh, I'm a huge fan of Squirrel Girl. Remember when she debuted back in the 80s? It's like, what? Like, no, like there's this new wave of Marvel coming in, man. Like, it's gonna be. Ugh.
You know what? No, you know what it is. You know what it is, Jeff. You know, it's just I see this all the time on Twitter regarding like things like Star Trek and LeVar Burton hosting Jeopardy. I'm not a fan, but I mean that's who they're trying to appeal to. The non-fan. I'm not a fan, but I think this is the best. This is the best Marvel movie ever. Well, if you're not a fucking fan, how do you know? How do you fucking know? How do you know?
Because all it is a marketing technique, dude. I went to school for advertising. That's all they teach you. I hate to say this, but they teach you to advertise to women because women buy more shit. That's what they teach you in school, taught by a woman. And they also teach you how to always be looking for that other market. And Marvel is in a business historically where the fans are persnickety and they want continuity and they'll stick around forever. And they reach the point where I think they can't get any more people to go without trying this shit. And all it's going to do is turn off people. So expansion is going to be their ultimate decline.
How ironic! You try to expand your fan base, and you end up killing it, though.
Look at Star Wars.
Gary brings this up all the time. There was a survey a number of years ago, and they asked people they asked women are you interested in comics? Not do you read comics, not do you buy comics. Are you interested in comics? 53% said yes. And that's what he says the industry has been basing all their decisions on over the last few years. And the whole thing is, like you said, they've been laying egg after egg on television. And Jake Bentley, our good friend Jake Bentley, he was on. I'm not sure if he was on with you, Jeff, or somebody else, but he said, at what moment were you out, Rob? I said, the end of WandaVision. The end of WandaVision when they just let Wanda Maximoff go scot-free. And somebody's actually got traffic outside their door. But anyway.
I'm walking here.
Hey, I'm moving here. But hey, move your truck. Okay, but anyway. But I said that's what we're seeing. We saw that CW ending at the end of WandaVision. Oh, shucksy doodles. There she goes. Oh, if only there was something we could do to stop her. Oh, she's just going to fly away. Whatever can we do? Well, everyone had said, how would you arrest her? The one guy who tried to stop her with White Vision, they arrested. And didn't we have a whole prison for superheroes called the fucking Raft?
We still do. The next show, Rob. Well, all I was going to say to you is like, they don't really worry about consequences anymore. And I think that is reflective of society. It's like, oh, you can do terrible stuff, you might get away with it. Like, people expect to get away with terrible crimes these days, because it's like, oh, well, Wanda got away, people on the internet get away. It's like, fuck it. It's a really weird message. Like, our superheroes are supposed to pay for their crimes. Look at Jean Grey. You brought up the Phoenix Saga. She killed a solar system. They made her pay.
She destroyed 6 billion people in a blink of an eye.
Like, your characters have to have comeuppance. This fantasy world of our heroes, there's no gravity if Iron Man doesn't die, or there's no gravity if Captain America doesn't suffer before he gets to his life of Peggy Carter. Like, people forget there's a story to tell. I want to jump to the end.
But again, like I said, it's this like the CW storytelling now. And we saw that in Star Trek in the first season of Discovery, when they let the homicidal, like genocidal, like evil emperor from the alternate universe just walk out of the room. I'm like, where the fuck is she going? Stop her! Oh, but they promised later, don't care. Remember when Kirk told the engineer on the transporter, Maltz in Star Trek 3, was, wait, you said you were going to kill me. I lied. Exactly. Wait, you said you were going to let her go. I lied. Take her away. That's all. That's all. That's even that. Even
well,
that's
if not, at least try to hold her somewhat accountable for what has happened.
But like I said, this is. I hate saying it. I hate beating this dead horse, but it's just so indicative now of modern storytelling, modern Marvel, and this is the road they're going to go. I guarantee. I would lay even money that the end of Black Widow, whoever the villain is, they just let her walk away.
Are you going to make it?
That could very well be. And on that note, Dash D says, is it possible that maybe the writers aren't creatively bankrupt, but the studio's not willing to spend any money on a total gamble of new, like how they won't look at non-woke scripts? I think that you got the problem right there. But Alejandro, as a filmmaker, Marvel obviously have some issues right now. But what's the cause of it? Is it incompetent writers, or is it directives from higher up? That's the problem here.
I think it's a little bit of both. After we did Monday, I did a feature film called Millennium Bugs, and the movie is about two best friends that are completely the opposite. One is first generation Mexican American, based on me, and the other one is his best friend, a girl named Kelly, who belongs to the LGBT group. And the whole point of the movie is that they're navigating through Y2K. The movie takes place the last week of 1999, and how they deal with their personal, issues, and then also see the chaos around them, because people think the world's going to end. And once we did the movie, I don't want to spoil anything because the movie still hasn't premiered, but it's a movie about friendship. And we had several people from high platforms that were, well, they didn't end up together. And I'm like, yeah, that's not what the movie's about. The movie's about them being friends. And, he's very quiet and very reserved, where she is very rambunctious and loud. They feed off on each other. So what things that she possesses, he learns from, and vice versa. And they were like, well, the people don't want that. They want them to end. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like a movie about a man and a woman getting along and there's no sex is great. On the contrary, I think it's very refreshing. So they said no. And I think that it has a lot to do with what the members said. And not only that, they I think they're just afraid of taking risks. They also said that the movie was not Mexican enough, when I'm like, but I wrote it and it's based on me. And my parents are Mexican, and I'm the first generation, and we don't show them crossing the border, like everything that they needs to be super sentimental, but it's like a new stage. And I think that people, like bigger executives, are afraid that because it's too different, people will exclude it.
And do you think that's not Mexican? I'm sorry, Paulie, go ahead.
If I could say, I've seen both films. I actually met Alejandro when I saw Millennium Bugs first. And we interviewed him about 6 months ago, and that's how this friendship started. And a mutual friend who's an executive producer in the business. It's a fantastic film, and because it's got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but it's a romp, man. You're just like it's almost like a throwback to how movies used to didn't have that filter. And that's why I really like Alejandro's work. And it doesn't surprise me that Hollywood doesn't know what to do with it, because they don't know what they're doing with themselves nowadays, and it's we're really excited because it's going to be coming out soon, right? You're making an announcement, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's all I want to say.
We're talking to a couple of distribution companies, and we're sending the movie. They're called deliverables, which are basically you send the movie in different formats with closed captions and stuff like that. So we still don't have the official premiere date, but it's very soon. It's definitely going to be this year and in the next, I don't know, maybe 3 months. But that was one of the issues that, since you guys are talking about that, is the more and more I see this and the more and more I'm like in the film industry, I think, just like the way you were saying how at the beginning of the phases they were like Iron Man and Winter Soldier, and I feel like movies that actually like that took risks are the ones that like Rise of Skywalker. When I saw the trailer and I saw the typical one that wasn't there when she does the thing with her sword and it becomes like Darth Maul's sword.
Yeah.
I would have loved it if they would have changed the complete opposites, where he now becomes the good guy and she becomes the bad guy. And I was like, all right, now we're trying out some different things, but no.
Alejandro, did you ever see that? You ever see that clip somebody put together of Bruce Lee with the nunchucks and their lightsabers?
Dude, amazing, so badass.
I'm like, I said to myself, where was that moment in Star Wars when we got to see something badass and different in these sequel trilogy? There wasn't one.
Imagine
right?
That's how he defended himself. I would have been so in.
Look, we had double-bladed lightsabers. The next logical choice was saber chucks. Let's be real.
Oh yeah.
That's the only way you can outdo it.
But as someone said about not taking chances, I really do think Hollywood now is operating under 2017 information. Because everything right now was been in development for years, right? So that is when the whole quote unquote woke trend really started. It was around before that and Ghostbusters and everything, but that is when they wanted to go all in. That's when they pushed all their chips to the front of the table on this. It's going to take a little while for it to reverse course, but we're stuck with this right now.
I feel that it's also people. Like, people need to go and support independent films, like like movies that are just coming out on Tuesdays on iTunes, and rent movies. And it's about that, because if the executives are like, well, if we give them King Kong versus Godzilla again, a new reboot, but then they want to do this movie, but no one's really watching these, but everyone's watching these, so let's get rid of these. That's why like the whole like $40 million thriller that used to exist like in the 90s and in the 2000s, they're completely gone. Like, what was that Denzel Washington movie that HBO Max did with Jared Leto?
Oh, I know exactly. I watched it. I can't think of the name. The Little Ones, right?
The Little Things.
Yeah,
it's The Little Things.
Yeah, wasn't that movie like $60 to $70 million?
Well, and the thing with that film is that script and project has been around for a couple of decades.
Oh, they felt very famous, very Seven.
Yeah. Oh, actually, it was before Seven, which makes sense.
Yeah. No, I think that it's several things. It's several things about not wanting to take risks, and then people, like I don't know, man. Like, I didn't feel any not even personal attachment, because I mean, I wouldn't have any personal attachment to a movie like Moonlight, but I loved it. Moonlight was, that one of the best movies that year. So I feel that they're just a little bit afraid of releasing things that are very risque. They want to play it safe, and it's the thing is, it's film. It's not just a regular business. I feel like they're trying to moneyball the film industry.
Yeah. And then David Stout was having some issues trying to send in a super chat here, Andre. So I'm just going to read this one for us. It says, hi, Andre, and your autistic fan love. Thank you for the movie of Pathfinder. It was great. Hi, Jeff, and MCU is truly bastardizing Stanley's legacy.
Hello, David. Thank you.
Yeah,
And I'm glad you enjoyed Pathfinder.
I mean, I don't really know if I have so much. If he would think they're bastardizing it, because look, there was a time where people got into like knockdown, drag out fights with Stan Lee because he would be like, it can be anybody under the mask, and it could be a black kid, and it could be an Asian kid, and then somebody said, yeah, but it's Peter Parker, and that's what matters. It's like, no, it doesn't matter. It makes no difference. And it's like, yeah, but it does, because Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Make a new character. Don't try to switch things up. So I'm not so sure if he would have such an issue with the switching of things.
You know what it is? It's all self-inserts now. Everything's self-insert.
Yeah.
But Jeff, you were going to say something to that.
I was going to say, like, it's sad because a lot of these companies look at the superhero as a faceless thing. Like Spider-Man, it doesn't matter who's under the mask. They want to sell you Spider-Man, and that's the wrong mentality because there's the people.
Well, it's the new movie star, yeah.
Well, not even just the new movie star. It's like they want to sell you. They don't care if it's Chris Evans as Captain America or Steve Rogers as Captain America. They just want to sell you Captain America because we all know those names. So superheroes are even, I think they're more hollow than they ever have been because now it doesn't matter what a character stands up for. It just matters that they have a marketable name that they can cash in on.
You know what I always say, Jeff? I mean, like I was saying, bring it back to a sports analogy. If I took my kid to a Yankee game and I said to him, hey, that's Derek Jeter out there. And he looked at me and he goes, Dad, that's not Derek Jeter. Yeah, it is. Look, see, he's got number 2. That's Derek Jeter. Dad, that's not Derek Jeter. I know what Derek Jeter looks like. That's not Derek Jeter. That's kind of the thing. That's what they forgot. Listen, it's not Iron Man is more than just the armor. Captain America is more than just the shield. And they've really lost sight of that. And it comes back to a lot of this mantra that all these people doing this writing have now. These are fictional characters. You could do whatever you want. And it's the same argument I get into with James Bond, Jeff, about James Bond being a code name. Oh, anybody can be James Bond. It's just a code name. And I said, fuck you. No, it isn't. Oh, yes, it is. Like, no, fuck you. I've made videos on this subject. I could debunk this within 10 minutes. There's more evidence saying it's not than there is saying that it is. And it's just this whole thing. Everything is disposable now. Everything is disposable. Everything is just irreplaceable. Oh, it doesn't matter who Captain America is. I'm like, yeah, it kind of is. It kind of does. Yeah, it's not going to be the same. Sam Wilson's not going to be the same Captain America. And I keep keep asking a lot of the people making these changes, don't you want characters with their own identity? If it's so important to have a black character, a Hispanic character, an Asian character, why do you want them to glom onto the identity of an already established character? Don't you want them with their own identity, their own power set, with their own characteristics, with their own personalities? Isn't that more important? Or what you really saying is that the only way we can succeed is to just take this title from another person?
Absolutely. And we beat that drum millions of times. And that's where I always come in and bring up the point. Like, I don't remember as a kid anybody going, Spawn is super fucking cool because he's black. It was so awesome to finally see, a black superhero on screen when fucking Blade came out. Nobody said that.
He's just badass.
Exactly. Yeah, there's like that movie kicked ass. Did you see Blade? Holy shit!
They did a whole episode referencing back to it on Community. That was so badass. What movie are you watching? Blade. You know what movie's awesome? Blade.
It is. I still show it to a couple of people that like. I have one of my best friends is like got comic fatigue, so I occasionally show him like movies from the 80s or 90s. He's like 10 years younger than me. And I showed him Blade, and he's still like, yeah, like, why aren't Marvel doing movies like this? This is badass.
Shit. Well, in Blade 2, I mean, even talk about blowing the first movie out of the water, the Godfather 2 of the series in that sense, because, man, I mean, Guillermo del Toro just took that over the top in that second film, I felt like. I mean, there's a lot of people, I think, that enjoy the second film even more than the first.
Can I say something controversial?
Absolutely.
I didn't like
Go
it.
for it.
I didn't
Oh, you
like
didn't like 2? I don't like 3, but like 2, I like quite a bit.
I only like the first one, so you're not
Really?
Yeah, honestly, Blade 1 is a really great movie, solid across the board. I don't like when he goes to, was it Russia in the second one? The European zombies and all that, or vampires, and then the third one's got Triple H in it. He can't act. So,
Well, the third one's junk. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that's like unanimous. Like most people agree on that.
You know, I didn't even realize Blade was a Marvel character when it first came out. I said, "Oh, cool, Blade." I'm like, because that was back in what, the 70s, wasn't it? Yeah. I mean, Blade and Michael Morbius. I mean, those were 2 characters that you kind of fallen off the radar back when I was reading Marvel comics by the 80s.
it wasn't until the 90s, Rob, that both of those characters actually had a small resurgence on the Spider-Man show. So for my generation, I only knew Morbius from the cartoon, but I'm with you. I didn't even realize Blade was a movie, and I didn't realize Blade was a Marvel character, and I saw it in theaters. I guess I just didn't pay attention to the credits as a kid, but I didn't know for a while he was a superhero either.
And I love this point that Ben Dowdy makes here is like late 90s, Blade, Dark City, Spawn, Mystery Men, add Matrix and some other things in there like The Crow. And that's the reason why Blade existed. It didn't exist because he was a black superhero. It existed because Hollywood was following a trend. I would wish they would just get back to that.
Hey, Tom, don't sell steel
about it,
short. Okay, Shaq is steel. Don't sell that short. Okay.
No, that wasn't a hit though.
Still, I'm kidding.
Paulie, were you talking or was it?
Yeah. And if you think about it, as far as fulfilling the diversity card, all those movies you guys just mentioned had lead actors, co-stars,
Very diverse casts. Yeah.
Oh my God! Like from Donnie Yen to Brandon Lee to Wesley Snipes, it was amazing. And it wasn't
Michael
about
Jai
that.
White was in Spawn, and then
Michael Jai White, John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo was also. Yep.
And there were some fantastic
underrated
performances.
actor, John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo rocks. We got a lot of John Leguizamo love over when you talk about him on Latino Slant too. And I'm sure we're going to talk about him on Midnight's Edge Español, isn't that right, Andre?
Yes, absolutely. And that's actually something that Natasha has pointed the link to right here, because as of today, Midnight's Edge Español is live. And that then, of course, is our new Spanish language channel, where there's going to be a mix of translated videos from the main channel, plus new original content and live shows. Where Paulie is going to have a very, very big role in making that happen. So, Paulie, what can you tell us about Midnight's Edge Español?
Yeah, buddy.
Well, it's good. It's a lot of exciting stuff. Everything what Andre just said, to our live streams every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific, mainly in Espanol. With our team in Latin America, Geek Tropology and Diego Flores. We'll have them on in a little while. Kind of just ghosting and covering what you guys cover, but also too, if there's any entertainment news in Latin America, we've already been doing interviews, original interviews with filmmakers, musicians, actors. You get great insight. And then case in point, like with Alejandro, he goes so well in both worlds. Like let's say afterwards or the next day, we'll have him come on the Español show. And anyone also too that's in the fandom. I don't know if Jeff, I don't know if you speak Spanish, but we'd love to have you on the show.
I'd love to come hang out. I took Spanish in high school, so I'm going to be an embarrassment. Yeah. I'd love to come hang out.
You can order some Spanish food, I bet.
Some Spanish food there? Yeah, you can order some Spanish food would be
you're right. I meant Mexican food. Yeah.
Paella with like some red wine serrano.
Yeah,
that sounds delicious. I've been to Spain.
I meant to order some food in Spanish, probably, but yeah.
Oh,
I'm halfway.
So,
who is saying that went to Spain? Oh, sorry, I keep interrupting.
So real fast, everyone in the chat. The site is live. There are
It
no videos yet until tomorrow. We'll put them up publicly. But go now and subscribe because I think we just started. So I
there's
would
one video live. One video is live right now, which is a translation of a video already published here. So everyone out there who speaks Spanish and has always wanted Midnight's Edge in Español, this is your lucky day. It's happening, folks. So the link is in the description. Natasha is sharing it in the comments. So yes, go and do check that out and do subscribe. Yes. And with that, I'd like to go through a couple of more super chats. And then I want to explore the movie Monday by the director that we just so happen to have here. So good times all around. But classic super chats. Ron W says, Tom got second Moderna Thursday, had same reaction as first. Arm pain for a day where jab was. Only other effect I experienced is headache. And Saint Ravage says, Conan and Kane in development. He-Man in trouble. Gina possibly returning to Mando. And Marvel sinking to new lows. What news will this week bring? Yeah, and it's only Monday. So, yeah.
I did bring some things up to Andre that I know I want to work on with that He-Man stuff because I found out a little bit more about it. Did you see that this morning that I sent you, Andre?
Yeah, I saw what you sent me, but we have some Star Wars stuff and huge DC thing.
Coming.
We have a massive DC thing for you. My God, you won't freaking believe those idiots.
Yeah,
if you think Lucasfilm was bad.
Well, some of the news is already kind of squeaked out there ahead of us.
Yeah.
The numbers for the Justice League Snyder Cut have already kind of gotten out, and a few other things. So yeah, you can expect a little bit more than that, though. But yeah, He-Man disaster of the universe. I'm stealing that, Dark King.
Please call your video that.
I'm going to. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I actually proposed 2 videos to Andre this morning, but we'll get into that another time. But the question is, are He-Man and She-Ra brother and sister anymore? Interesting, huh?
Weren't they cousins? And
no, brother and sister.
Twins. They were twins. But it'll be.
They may not be anymore.
Yeah, that's that will be interesting to find out. And Tom, then we got a super chat from Dash D's trying to clarify the previous one. Maybe you can do that.
Well, let's see here. We got the doses, gonorrhea, the drip, the clap. If I have to explain everything, guys, work with me, people. I hear you.
Yeah, and then Dash D said for another 10 Canadian dollars, thank you so much, is it possible that maybe the writers aren't creatively bankrupt, but the studio's not willing to spend any money on a total gamble of new, like how they won't look at non-woke scripts? Let's hear that real quickly. Is that could what we're seeing right now be a result of them trying to play it safe?
As far as Marvel goes, or just in general?
Well, both.
Well, I know the article that you're referring to, that came out 2 weeks ago. But yeah, it was basically pointing out that there's all these really great scripts that are being overlooked in favor of ones that are all about diversity. And it's like I pointed out, well, if the script is good, then it shouldn't matter. You should be able to plug just about anybody who's a good actor into just about any role, as long as it's not, dependent on the person's race, in which case then it would fall into their little category now, wouldn't it? So it tells me that they're just ignoring good scripts in favor of things that are for virtue signaling. Blah. I can't talk this morning. So yeah, a lot of what we're seeing is a clear result of that. But I think that Andre and I have pointed out a few times now, the winds were changing, but then the lockdown happened, and on top of everything that happened last summer and in between and everything now, I have a feeling it's going to make another quick shift back towards that kind of stuff before it gets better.
Now it's very much driven by funding, and that someone is funding to have certain ideals promoted.
But Andre, now's the time too to fight back. I mean, people are doing it on all kinds of fronts with creating their own art. So
exactly,
Tom, it might be that little window you're talking about, man. But I think enough people, the world stopped for a year. I think enough people came up with shit that we're going to see. We'll call them Corona projects over the next couple of years. And I think you'll have that novelty, and enough people will have their own stories that they'll just stop worrying about like forcing it, and it'll come naturally. Yeah. And I don't know if that'll be good or not, but hopefully it'll save our genre pictures.
Well, no, I think eventually they cannot ignore it anymore. The Oscars were a bust. I mean, they were more than just a bust, actually. I mean, that was like embarrassing. And when people are going to see like Demon Slayer and Mortal Kombat and Godzilla versus Kong, and they don't have a lick of fucking politics in them, regardless of how you felt about Mortal Kombat, like I'm just saying, like the whole thing is like it's just proving that people just want entertainment. Like they just want to be entertained, dude. Like they don't want to go out and see shit that's going to be preachy to them. That's why Birds of Prey flopped. They can blame it on the pandemic all they fucking want. That's why Charlie's Angels flopped and all that other kind of crap. Eventually,
they will catch up. Flopped because of the coronavirus that didn't even exist.
No.
Man, they're getting good with their excuses now.
I should have been more clear.
I'm fucking with you, man.
No, I know, but they'll probably try. They blamed us, remember?
With Birds of Prey, they actually did blame that.
That's what I meant. That's why I was saying.
And then Sonic came out afterwards. And
Charlie's Angels had Elizabeth Banks out there calling us a bunch of misogynists for not embracing Charlie's Angels. Yeah,
that it most certainly.
Turns out more men went to see Charlie's Angels than anything.
Same thing with Birds of Prey.
Mm-hmm.
And more women actually went to see Rambo First or Last Blood than went to see Charlie's Angels. So go figure.
And then more women went to see Aquaman.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Right?
Yeah, and Mortal Kombat was actually
and Mortal Kombat too.
Rating higher among women, actually.
Skewed female.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Chihuahua's
only series if I ever saw one, right?
Yeah.
Indeed it was. But on that note, actually, let's transition from there, because
speaking
that's
of Manly,
a perfect point.
Monday, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because that's one thing to point out. That one thing that we like to do here is to highlight independent filmmakers and those that do their own thing. And someone who does that is one of our esteemed guests of today, namely filmmaker Alejandro Marin.
Hello.
Now, we've already spoken about Monday, and the link for it is in the description of the video for everyone wanting to check that out, which we recommend you do. It's actually quite a fun little movie. I enjoyed watching it.
Thank you,
but Alejandro, tell us, how did you start out in the industry? Before we get into Monday specifically, what made you want to become a filmmaker, and what took you from wanting to be a filmmaker up to Monday and everything that went into it?
Oh man. I'll keep it brief because I don't want to get your fan base bored. But I was born in Laredo, Texas. I was raised in Mexico. We jumped the border the other way, and I've always been a fan of film. Always been a fan of film. Do you guys remember pay-per-view when you would rent the movie and you have 24 hours just to watch it, like through TV?
Oh yeah. Of course. Absolutely.
So
we're listening.
In Texas, it was called Paragon Cable because Robert Rodriguez was from San Antonio. So when I met him, I told him, "Hey, man, do you remember Paragon Cable?" And he goes, "Yeah, I used to wash my dad's car to get my allowance to go see to rent your movie because, he was a huge inspiration to thousands of people, not just because of what he achieved with such little budgets, but it's also great to see someone from your background doing this multi-million-dollar movies and starting from nothing to like how many movies of Robert's have been more than 100 million, and how many of them have been like Sin City, but the rest have been original works, Spy Kids and Desperado.
Yeah, I mean, he had, even like the Spy Kid movies were like the top grossing 3D movies until Avatar came out. So
yeah, man, he Spy Kids 1 raised more than, I don't know, like 100, 200 million.
Yeah, at least
locally, like in the States.
But yeah, like I was saying, like, yeah, Spy Kids 3 and 3D or whatever it was until Avatar was released was the highest grossing 3D film. I think, just by pound for pound, for El Mariachi is still one of the highest grossing films of all time as far as compared to what it cost to make and what it grossed. And yeah, I mean, Robert, I love his mentality and the book that you guys mentioned earlier that if I'm correct, isn't that the one that he says like he's gonna go grab it? I was gonna say, if I remember correctly, that's the one where he starts off. It's like make a movie with what you have and what you know, and like he's like, that kind of a mentality. Like just don't try to go above and beyond that, but like work in your own kind of like region, and you can make a movie. Like he's like, I had a turtle, I had a guitar case, and and so that's where El Mariachi started, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like it's amazing. So tell us what it was like getting into that world.
Well, I did like a lot of people, like they would watch movies, they like what they see, and slowly, in Mexico, there weren't really a lot of like schools for film, or back then in the 90s and 2000s, like the support to artists was non-existent. So I went the other way, and I opened up a video store in Monterrey, Mexico, and it was called Quick Stop, based on Kevin Smith, and it was,
right from Clerks. Yeah,
we did the whole logo, the yellow logo with the stop sign and everything. It was because I just loved film, but I mean, I didn't come from money, so I didn't know. Like I did my research, and there's schools that are like $80,000 a semester. I'm like, I can't afford that.
Right. You're better off spending $80,000 on your first motion picture.
Exactly. I'd rather do art than that. So after like a couple of things that happened, I sold my video store. I sold my business. I moved to Canada to study at Vancouver Film School, which was where Kevin Smith went to school. And after that graduated, came back to Albuquerque, and I've been in Albuquerque and Los Angeles back and forth. So Elway Network is Robert Rodriguez's TV channel, and they posted that they were going to do a show, and they did a whole like submit your work. So I submitted trailers, short films, music videos, and like how it goes. I was like, and that's that, and I'm never going to hear back from them. Surprisingly enough, I did hear from them. I became one of the top 5 that participated in the show Rebel Without a Crew. And Monday is the result of the reality show of shooting a movie for $7,000 with no crew in 14 days, no reshoots. And we did the action comedy Monday.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, because weren't you also limited on your post-production time as well?
Oh yeah, we had to turn in the movie like 3 months or something, or 4 months. I don't remember.
Right, because like I was gonna say, like earlier, like some of my cheap shots I was giving at you. No offense, but like I know going into this, like you were on a limit. You only had so many days, so much money, and so much time to put to do it. So like all the little things that are wrong with it are just things that you can kind of chalk up to that.
Oh
so
yeah,
outside of that,
I'm not focused.
Well, no, and it's really that's really kind of a testament to how good it is, because there's really not any other flaws that I can think of outside of the little things like that are obviously not your fault per se. Like it was because if you were doing this on a standard like situation where you were releasing it, you would have reshot that or fixed it, and a few things in post probably would have been a little bit better. And I totally understood that going into it. So yeah,
man, no, they wouldn't let us have like a follow focus. So you would have to be. I had the camera. It was what was it? I don't remember, but it was the camera, and then I had to do it through the lens as well as direct. And no, it was difficult. I do not regret doing it. I just don't want to do that again. Just because there's so much pressure, man. There's so much pressure of then they notice that you mess up, and then the camera comes in close to you, like, oh, what's going on now, Alejandro? I'm like, shit. You know, you're an idiot.
So what was the response to the film after you got it finished?
We toured through
Alejandro, this is
Yes, sir. Yes. I heard someone say my name again.
Yeah,
I
Paulie
think
did.
it was Paulie, but I think he fell out on us there.
Yeah, I think he did.
Oh.
no, I'm here. I just Tom got his question in. That's cool.
Oh, that's what you wanted? Or did you have a different question?
Well, no, I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask a question. I wanted to get on the interviews, but it's all right, Tom. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Paulie was breaking up there. But in the meantime, while
Yeah,
he
I
works
couldn't
that up,
understand
maybe
half of what he
writes the question in the private chat.
Yeah, do that.
I have another question, because one of the things that struck me with Monday was how good the cast was. Because one thing is how incredibly well you were able to stretch the budget, but also I think that the cast were really, really good in their roles. And you see that many of those are really hard-working actors and actresses, and they maybe haven't yet gotten their huge breaks, which they absolutely deserve. But how did you go about finding the little crew that were there to help, and the cast? How were you able to recruit them and find like the right people? What was the process in doing that?
Yeah, I wrote it for a friend, for the guy that did the short film version of it, and in the show, I think it's on episode 3. If anybody wants to watch the show, it's on iTunes. Called Rebel Without a Crew, and basically what they did is they dragged us into like where they shot Sin City in this big warehouse, and they opened the door and there was like 300 people there. So they were, like they have to create this sense of like danger and like excitement for the reality. So they basically gave us 2 hours to cast our film. So it was just dividing people and generalizing the motivation of the characters. So then when they come up, they're kind of familiarized with what I'm looking for. And then I would give them an adjustment just to see how well they could adjust to that, to see if in the day and with time being a restraint, how well they could adjust to that. But everyone from Albuquerque and New Mexico and Austin that participated in the movie not only had to do a great job with the acting, but also help us with any extra hands that they could help us with by carrying cables and carrying sandbags, anything. They were troopers, man. So everyone from the cast, I love them so much. I wouldn't hesitate to work with any of them in a second.
No, and like Andre said, they're all really well casted, and I think you did a great job on that part. Paulie, are you back with us, buddy? I think he's either way delayed or having such net issues that he can't hear us, and then every time he talks, he just garbles out. But yeah, my question before then was, what was the reaction then after you got the film done?
We were lucky. We were able to tour several film festivals. We were able to close the Holly Shorts Film Festival in LA. If you guys haven't heard of this film festival, it's amazing. It's one of the best ones in Los Angeles. Check it out. They were really cool about it. We went to Soho. We went to Cozumel in Mexico. We got to screen internationally and nationally to several film festivals, and then we uploaded it to iTunes and Amazon. But, it was only seen 7,000 times, and they didn't think it was that enough, so they took it out. So now I'm just going to make it public for everyone to watch it and hopefully learn something from it, because it's a very unique experience, and it's really cool. This time I'm just like being, like a fanboy, but you know how they always say don't meet your idols. I completely disagree with that. Robert was incredibly nice. The other filmmakers were great. And no, man, it's an experience that I'm always going to be able to remember it. And I even got it tattooed in my arm Monday.
That's awesome.
Alejandro, I got to tell you, man, it's nice to hear that kind of optimism, talking about meeting people you look up to, because there's so many stories of not wanting to meet your heroes. And so I'm glad that Robert Rodriguez, a guy I really like, is a cool dude. It makes me excited to get his stuff.
There's an episode in the show, and I think it's like 6 or 7. He doesn't. He's usually announcing to the assistants, to the directors, to the producers when he's going to show up and screen. Mind you, this is when he was doing post-production for Alita. So the man was busy. And, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink. So he goes outside of his troublemakers and he meditates, man. Motherfucker's super disciplined. And he saw all of us shooting, or my team, the Monday team shooting the movie. And he's just a nerd, man. He's just a geek. He came over just to like, hey man, what are you guys doing? Like, he's super chill. Super chill. Really nice guy.
That's awesome to hear. And hey, anybody who made From Dusk Till Dawn has got to be pretty badass anyway. So
the movie is amazing.
So yeah, Paulie, are you back with us, buddy? I don't know if you can hear us, Paulie, but we can't. You were garbling out there.
Yeah, I don't think that Paulie is available right now, so we'll have to make do without him for the moment, and we'll have him on as soon as we can. So how was the response and further opportunities, or like after, as also like now after you put it out, has there been been an upswing in interest? And like, because you made this movie, you have made many others, but I think that this is obviously one of the more prolific. What came next?
Well, after that, we did I wanted to do a movie that didn't have the same constraints. You know what I mean? Like, you guys know, like, when you do something that you put so much time and effort, it only affects the project when you're being rushed and pushed and rushed and pushed, because you don't have time to fix things. You don't have time to create different options to make things work. So I wanted to do another movie, and that's when I did Millennium Bugs, which is my 90s dramedy that we are still we finally secured distribution. We're just figuring out when the date of the premiere is, but I feel like, I mean, everyone wants to have the success stories of like Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez and what's the girl from like Frances Ha? I really like that movie. I forgot her name, but
me too at this moment.
Oh, Gerda Gerwig. And endless stories of like the first movie, but I feel that it's more. I'm seeing that it's more realistic that a project will lead up to something else for another one, and so on and so forth. So I think that the experience and the people that got to see Monday is what facilitated me to fund Millennium Bugs on social media and on Kickstarter, because without the show, I don't think I would have been able to do that, because I've never done a crowdfunding. And as people here in the channel who are doing a crowdfunding know, it's incredibly hard and it's incredibly time consuming.
Oh yeah. But it's all worth it, man.
Oh yeah, it's totally worth it, just to see people enjoying the project and people tuning in. Like, my God, thank you to everyone that's tuning in, dude. There's 700 people watching. This is because of you guys. The independents like us are able to create art. So thank you so much. And yeah, that's basically what it did. It led me to do the next one. I did a comic book sequel to Monday, and it's called Tuesday. And then I did.
Oh, nice!
They're almost coming out.
Ooh, where can I get that?
It's on Amazon, actually. If you type in the sequel to Monday, it's literally called the sequel to Monday.
Looking it up right now.
Yeah, and it's basically what happens the next day, a couple of hours later.
That's very, very cool. And to those that want to see Monday, again, the link is in the description. There's the Vimeo link to see Monday, the movie. So absolutely do check that out. Also, I have to ask, now with that out and more people hopefully discovering it, What are you planning to do next?
Well, right now what we're doing is figuring out the. I was gonna send you guys pictures so you can see some behind the scenes. That's why I stuttered a little bit. But we are working on 2 short films. One is my first thriller, which is called Blood Positive. If you guys go to Instagram, our production company's channel is called Push Start Films, and we're doing a thriller called Blood Positive with Scott Taylor Compton from Halloween and Gabrielle Stone from FML Podcast. Then after that, we're doing a very dark comedy called The Wrong Guy, potentially. That's what we have the name, starring John Kaler and Kirk Fox from Parks and Rec and Bulletproof 2. I think he just did Reservation Dogs right now with Taika Waititi like a month ago. And
very cool.
Yeah, man, we're just trying to develop more projects. There's a couple of projects and a reality show that we're trying to do. So just literally staying busy and staying productive during the pandemic. That's why I did the comic book, man. I didn't want to stay stagnant. And as you guys know, Jeff and Tom and everyone, like as you guys know, the more busy you stay, the better it is. So I tried comic books, even though I've been reading comic books forever. This is the first time I make them.
It's a different experience when you do make it, but it's fun. I'm looking forward to getting your book. I just picked it up. It looks cool as shit.
Oh, thanks, man. That's awesome. When does your book come out, man?
My book's available on demand right now. So until the summer, it's available. But
okay.
I love when people pick up movies I just love when movies have a sequel that pick up the minute afterwards, but I love it when they do it in a different art form. So I'm all on board.
Jeff, Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, I'm waiting for my Stealing solo also, man.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, brother. We gotta support these creators, people in the chat and my brothers here on the panel. From Jeff to Alejandro. I mean, these guys they never stop. They never stop creating. And Alejandro's been so busy this past 6 months. It's crazy, and it's great to see. I got the comic book as well, and some of my members from the channel, we gifted them. They won a couple. We recently did a members movie night with Alejandro, and that was great. Alejandro and he brought in two of the actors. That was a blast.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a lot of fun, man. We had a blast. We were able to tell like intricate stuff. Like there's several shots. There's several scenes in Monday. So basically when you were running out of time from the nine-hour day, we would get one of the producers to come up to you or to me and was like, Alejandro, you need to shoot this scene and you got 5 minutes, bro, or else they have to pull you out. So there are several shots there where scenes that we would just do in one shot and you get one take, man, go. So we were able to tell a lot of the stuff, like all the cell phones like being not completely accurate, and like the last scene we had to shoot it in 3 different locations because rain or noise or X, Y, or Z issue would just come up. So we would just like, all right, well, let's just shoot it with a background in black, just pitch black, and hopefully we can pull it off. So it was just paying Peter to, how do you say it's taking money or Peter to pay Paul, but with time so we could finish the movie.
Doesn't George Lucas say that actually? That's pretty cool. I like that phrase.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think he, when he's talking about making the first one, and he's talking, when he's making Empire Strikes Back, how there was all those, the budget problems. They went over budget and stuff. He uses that phrase.
I think you just want to do whatever it takes to get the movie done, man. Like, there's so many things from permits to weather to ego to equipment being there. So the fact that you can actually finish a movie and make something amazing like movies we've seen and become fans are is just it's a feat in itself. So the fact that you guys enjoyed the movie, I'm really happy. So if everyone wants to watch a funny action comedy, well, that I think is funny, but check out Monday. I think you'll have fun with it. We had fun with it.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun. It's one that, like, every time you complain about your Monday, this one is going to put your Monday into perspective. And also, I thought that there were some lessons in that movie, which is going to be very relevant for many people. That's also one thing I wonder about the writing, where you have the lead character and he's not at blame for literally everything, but much of his situation was kind of his own making, by simply being passive. Like, where was the inspiration for that? Was there some kind of lesson that you wanted to, not lesson per se, but some kind of message that you wanted to impart on the audience?
I think it's, I mean, especially nowadays where every movie needs to like hammer a lesson, I feel that it's as long as you take something out of it but also have fun, like that's the prime objective. I just want people to have fun and be like, hey, that was worth my time and money. But it's always about growing up, and that's a really great observation. I wrote that one during a breakup because I mean I wasn't a stoner or worked like I wasn't really Jim. There were things that like she would always be like working out and running and I was like the fat slob watching movies. So that part was true. And I think it's just more than anything is the movie is about just growing up and being you and then doing the right thing, not just because of whatever. Like I feel like the character is a good guy and that's why he's trying to prevent shit from happening. But then at the end we know what what he says and what happens, which he's like, no, man, I'm standing for myself. I don't think you did the right thing, but it doesn't mean that, I could be a dick and just let all this shit happen.
Yeah, and I thought there were some very, very good messages there in it. So yeah, everyone go and check out Monday the movie, linked to in the description. Also linked to in the description is your project, Jeff. And I know we didn't have you for too much longer. So tell us about that.
Well, thank you. So, folks, we had just run the campaign on Indiegogo for Stealing Solo. This was the Fandom Menace edition. And this was the version of the book that has a cover painted by Anna, that Star Wars girl. Now, the comic is written and drawn by me. And it was a huge success. And so much of a success, in fact, because of the perks we offered. What I did is for every 100 backers after the first day, because it really moved really quickly, I offered a magnet of the artwork based on the trading card art. And so for every 100 backers, we got, Cecil and Mecca and Tom and Jeremy and Gary, and we're almost to the top. There's me left, and then there's Anna in the Slave Girl bikini from Return of the Jedi. And so that's the magnet that everybody really seems to want. And so I figured, why not? We're so close. Culture Casino bought like 10 sets on air. He really wants to get that. So I told him, we'll wait until the High Council to make that happen. So folks, if it's not too late to read the book or get the cards, Tuesday, tomorrow, May the 4th, our special High Council day. That'll be it. Because I know, Tom, you want to get the whole set.
Yeah, I just got
Yes, I do. I just want to make sure I was sharing the right thing here.
my update.
By the way, thank you to all your people. Your members are linking to my channel. So, Natasha, thank you. I see that. I appreciate that.
I always say, just so you know, everybody, I am on the cover. It's just Jeff had to shrink me down for China.
Yeah, he's right on Mecca's shoulder. It's cool. She's also on the trading card too. So if you're a Rob fan, Robot Shlomo fans out there, there's a lot of you.
I'm a little speck. Yes, yeah. That's. I'm sorry. It's those bastards. I still haven't cracked the Chinese market, Andre. Sorry.
We'll just have to keep working at it. So yeah.
That's really it with the project. I mean, it was a huge success. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or anything. I'm just really happy. And I know a lot of people still want to get it. So, folks.
No, go right ahead. Pat yourself on the back. You should be. This is a great,
Well, I mean, after the last, all the bullshit the first time, and then everybody being awesome and sticking with us and everything working out, I mean, believe me, I'm the happiest person about all this stuff. People like it. People love the concept and the comic and all that stuff. So, again, just thank you to everybody. It was a fun stream, Rob. I'm glad you stayed for almost. Oh, Tom, you were there too for almost the whole 8 hours.
even though I slept through like the last hour and a half.
Yeah,
So did I.
I'm old. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
Oh, so Jeff admits he was sleeping when he was like, "Oh no, it was my internet."
Oh, dude, I was
everywhere.
We knew you were out. You were out for like a half hour, 45 minutes or so.
I didn't even realize. To me, I blinked and I woke back up. That's how quick it was.
No, I think we've figured it
Tom
out
and
after like
Espanol.
5-10 minutes. What about Tom and Espanol?
So
Paulie is really cutting out there.
Yeah.
I don't know what he just said, but yeah. How much longer do we have you, Jeff?
a few more minutes. Keep going. We can talk about anything else.
But yeah, like so you were saying here, I finally got it up on screen. Are the let me see, they're down here, ain't they? The magnets.
Yeah. So scroll a little further down.
There you go. So we got to get 1,000 to.
Well, Jeremy's already
we
unlocked.
got these unlocked here, but
Yeah.
we got these two.
I
yet
got to update
to
the image.
go.
We're just on the final two.
So that's all we got to get left, folks, to get those magnets unlocked. So there you go.
I keep saying that I absolutely love the fact that Jeff's in a bathrobe with a blaster because when you're committing a major felony like kidnapping, you want to be as relaxed as possible.
Well, of course. I mean, if you're going to get locked away for 25 years, why not go out in comfort?
Is this Tom? Are you sure we don't have Jake here instead of Jeff? I mean, because that's something Jake would say.
Dude, I didn't get much sleep last night because of shit pancakes, so I'm in a weird place.
Actually, Tom, we got to get Jeff and Jake on a stream together. That would be like
he'd be
YouTube
great for a
magic.
high council.
Oh my
almost.
God!
But, yeah, he's supposed to be showing up a bit more on Mead, so you might get a chance to meet Jake. Jake's hilarious.
I'm looking forward to meeting Jake, as long as his last name is not Skywalker.
Oh hell no,
No.
It's Jake Bentley, and he loves wrestling, so you'll like him.
Yeah, he's like me, old school wrestling though. So that's Ric
I
Flair.
respect that.
that
Oh,
kind of
Ric
stuff.
Flair's one of the greatest.
Yeah, I was watching the Kentucky Derby this weekend and said that guy who trains horses who looks like Ric Flair had a horse that won again. So
Woo! You know what he's doing.
woo,
Woo!
yeah, baby, Kentucky Derby time.
That's the way he usually comes into the chat too when we're streaming. He's all like, "Woo!" And there you go. There's the link once again. I know that Natasha has been sharing it along with the other wrenches, but there you go. Get in on that right now so we can get that goal met in the next day, so we can get those magnets. But yeah, so there we go. So yeah, was there any super chats, Andre, that were for Jeff before he has to leave?
I will do a quick check and see if there are any super chats specifically for Jeff. Just give me 1 second here, and I'll go right through them.
I just saw that you guys shared the Monday trailer link, so thank you so much, Natasha, for sharing it.
Yeah, absolutely. So everyone go and check out Monday, both the trailer and the full movie, which is 50 minutes long and well worth it. And be sure to stay for the post-credit scene.
Ooh.
And no, I don't think that there are any super chats specifically for Jeff. No, we have some classic super chats to go through.
Yeah.
That we do, but yes, not for
So,
Jeff.
all right. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for hopping in, man.
Thanks for having me. It was
course.
fun. Alejandro, I sent you a message on Instagram, so check your inbox.
Yes, sir, I just added you. We should definitely link up, man.
Oh yeah, dude. I've just moved out here. We're moving into a new place. I'm going to be out here for a while, so it'll be fun.
Let's have a barbecue here at the house in LA.
I'm so
There's
down.
Paulie.
All right, that sounds like a party.
I didn't know you're in LA, brother. That's great.
I've only been out here a year. You know, obviously I'm from Cincinnati and stuff, but coronavirus just slowed everything down. So I spent a year in an apartment. So I don't really know much of the lay of the land.
Well, we're mid city, and we have a nice backyard with a grill, and we'll get you, Alejandro, and some people in our community. Let's have a pachanga.
I'm gonna be there at the end of May, beginning of June, dude. So if you guys aren't busy, I'm down to grab a beer and get a steak, man.
That's it. We got it.
There you go.
Tom, you're invited too.
Aw, I'll get out there eventually. Actually, maybe sooner than later. But we'll talk about that off camera.
You notice how he didn't say Rob's invited because he's afraid I'm like doing my Cheech impression.
Everyone's
Hey,
invited.
I'm sure that's going to be a huge hit in East LA.
I was born in East LA, man. I was. I love that movie.
Well, gentlemen, I will talk to you tomorrow. Most of you, Tom, Andre, as always, thank you for having me. Alejandro, nice to meet you. Paulie, as well as Mexican Iron Man. I think his name was Mike in the background. Hello to you. And Rob, Tom, as always, thank you guys.
Take care. Nice to meet you.
All right, see you guys. Bye, folks, in the chat.
See you, Jeff.
Peace, brother.
Jeff's good people. He really is.
All right, before we move on, let's get caught up on a couple of the classic super chats. Stargate 404 says for $10, typical academia, Rob. Had a sociology professor made claims about medicine and genetics. She is refused to read contradictory studies published in journals. Her reason? Wasn't peer-reviewed by sociologists. Yeah, that's how you get into a certain mindset, and you don't get out of it. Academica is notorious for that. Dash D's says, how excited are you going to be about a gay amputee Chinese woman Wolverine, though? Well, I'm not so sure that's going to happen, Dash D's, but I see your sentiment.
Is she going to be played by Peter Dinklage in blackface? as Jake would always say.
Somehow doubt it. And Adam Wofford says, has anyone noticed in Civil War that there was 5 Winter Soldiers, but when Tony and Stephen, Bucky, got inside, there was only 4 on ice? I have never noticed that, but I'm sure that's probably accurate if you point it out. And Saw D4WG, maybe Saw Dog, I guess he's trying to say, says for $25. Thank you so much. Greetings, gang. I'm at work and I'm listening to you all while I clean them pools. Keep up the great work. Love you all. Oh, thank you. And those pools won't keep clean themselves. So better keep at it, I guess. And then we have Commandant VHS, who says they drop the ball on every Fantastic Four villains. Yeah, well, hopefully they won't this time, because Doom and the Silver Surfer are among them. And says, I'm more and more convinced that WandaVision was not made for a male audience. Yeah, judge. You know what? Judge from some of the female reactions. I'm not so sure it was made for a female audience either. But yeah, I see where you're coming from. And Dark King says for $5 when it comes to the lack of original ideas in Hollywood, how much is due to lousy creatives, and how much is due to cowardly money men? Honestly, the big problem, I would say, isn't so much cowardly money men as it is idealist money men. They're a bigger problem than the cowardly money men. Beyond that, it's actually not the creatives or the money men, but the people in between, the producers that call the shots on what they think is the best course of action to take. The money men often don't care. Again, it's going to depend on the individual, but they get the pitch and they fund it, and they don't care too much about the detail. That's often the way. It's the middlemen, the ones that make it happen, which I think are the problem. Or maybe I'm completely wrong. Alejandro, what do you think, having worked in the system?
Can I be honest? I still haven't seen WandaVision or Falcon and Winter Soldier.
And that's quite all right. We saw the WandaVision, and that's because of that we didn't see Falcon and the Winter Soldier. None of us, I think.
I don't know, man. Like, I think that I forgot who said it today. I think it was Harry, but or I forgot who said it, but I think that after Endgame, I was like, okay, I'm good for now, because it was a great little structure, and I think Infinity Wars is. I know everyone loves Endgame, but I think Infinity Wars is better, man. Like, I loved that movie; it was really, really good. So I haven't even seen those two shows, man. I feel useless.
Yeah, no, never mind that, because let's be honest, none of them really were that popular with audiences on a whole. I think they were much more popular with the professional reviewers that served the studio than with actual audiences. That's certainly my request. But from your experience and observations from the system, things like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier having more of a message than an actual story. Whose fault is it? Is it the actual creatives? Is it the producers? Or is it the moneymen higher up?
I think it's a little bit of everyone, man. I think that is a little bit of everybody, and feeling like they need to do certain things in order to have everyone happy. Where I know we've always said it doesn't matter. A good movie is a good movie in the 40s and the 50s and the 80s and now. Just make sure to make a good movie first, and then have that project spin out of control with people understanding the morality and understanding this, and have it become a thing. I feel like we're so in need of more and new things to talk about it as a common group, that we try to make almost everything as epic as possible. We don't let the movies do that job by itself. Like, after watching a really good movie, going to sit down for a cup of coffee or a beer, and the mythos of the movie doing it. I think it's a little bit of several options, actually, Andre. Like, I feel that we're trying to make everything be its own niche, and sometimes I feel like people are more interested in the story of how the movie came to be than the movie. And I think that that's not right. I think that that's what we work for, to make a movie that people can identify with and lose themselves, especially now where we've had a year and a half of just, we need some escapism. I think comedies are going to make a good comeback. I have a feeling.
Yeah, we could certainly need it. So that is for certain. And then moving on with the classic super chats. Marilyn's Id says for $10, a question of stewardship in franchises needs to be addressed. Now that Lee is gone, they think they can do whatever. Same with Chris Tolkien and Lucas. Oh, Stan Lee never mattered, not even when he was alive. He hasn't mattered since the 80s. So he has never had any kind of relevance for what they do on film in any way, shape, or form whatsoever, for as long as they've been making Marvel movies. And that goes all the way back to Howard the Duck. So they think they can do whatever, and that's because they know that they can. Same with Chris Tolkien and Lucas. Yeah, those are actually more relevant examples. But yeah, you really need someone to be there and be a steward. That's actually one thing that I really appreciate with Fredrik Malmberg, because he actually serves as a steward for all things Conan, which is why nothing there has gone that bad. I mean, you can say what you want about the 2011 movie, but you know what it wasn't? It wasn't woke. It didn't push a message down your throat. It didn't have much of a story, but it had everything that you wanted a Conan movie to have.
Dead air. You know,
I thought maybe it was my net again going out,
That's
but
what I
it is.
thought.
There we go. Yeah.
I thought it was Tom's nut too.
I have a feeling if I make a comedy, like comedies are gonna make a big comeback. If I make a movie that's a comedy, I want the trailer to be the head of the studio saying, And Universal Studios would now like to issue an apology to the following groups: the Anti-Defamation League, the National Organization for Women, the NAACP. It would just offend so many people that they would have to just issue a preemptive apology. So that's what I want.
Great marketing tactic. If you start the trailer with, "Hi, I'm the producer of blah 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 blah. I would like to apologize," and just a string of people, and then enjoy. I think that I would be I kind of want to watch that.
And you'd see me there sitting back, just like. just so chill. Like it says the last movie that'll ever offend you,
or a beginning of string of movies that will offend you.
Yeah, either way. On that note, we also had a super chat from Captain Hare, who says, "Awesome, came in mid-Rob's rant." Yes, always a good place to come in. And on Midnight's Edge Español, says, "Hola, felicitaciones por el nuevo canal." Muchas gracias. And Dash D's.
Thank you. That's really cool. People are blowing up the chat. This is amazing. And yeah, go subscribe to the Midnight's Edge in Español.
Exactly. Paulie, are you with us now? Can you talk? Because when we're on that note, let's talk some Midnight's Edge Español.
Yes.
If you can talk.
You guys hear me? Can you guys hear me pretty good?
Yes, we hear you. Yes, we hear you pretty good.
No. Yeah, well, it looks like we're hitting around 50 subs already on the Espanol channel, which is wonderful. I think in a little while we're going to play a exclusive live performance from Del Castillo. And we have a Del Castillo great interview I will release on Cinco de Mayo. Right now, we just put up a couple of interviews with some really good actors. So there are videos to watch.
There are indeed. So what are the plans for the following week? Because it's the week of Cinco de Mayo, is it not?
Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow we're gonna go live on Midnight's Edge Español, 9 a.m. We'll have a guest, PJ from Orville Nation. And we'll have part of our interview with actress Noemi Gonzalez. Wednesday, we'll be back here with you guys. We're going to have actor Jesse Borrego from Blood In, Blood Out. And a live performance, guys, here from Nina Diaz. That's Wednesdays. That's like the big show. Hey, Stephanie. Then Wednesday night on my channel on Latino Slant, we're gonna kind of have a whole bunch of people stopping in. Hopefully, Tom. And then Thursday, back on Midnight's Edge Español, where we'll have a couple of journalists from Mexico. They're entertainment journalists making their debut on our live stream, which I'm really excited about. Alejandro, you got to meet Alfredo Galindo. He's a fantastic film journalist. And another live performance from a band called The Consequentialists from Texas. And
I'm down. Come on, man. I'd love to meet him.
Look what I got. I got a director's cut DVD to give out to anyone here. Tom?
I have that.
Well, this is for someone in the chat.
Oh, I thought you were trying to give it to me.
No, man, come on. It's about.
So how are we gonna give it away?
You tell me.
I don't know. What's a good way to give it away? Do we want to do some trivia or?
Well, yeah, I have an idea. The first one who can say an iconic line from the movie Blood In, Blood Out. First one that can put that in the chat. Put one of the iconic lines. Very first one. So this is the first one to. First one gets what Paulie is holding right there.
Ooh, I got it. Paulie. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
And we have a winner in René Delgado.
Actually, don't they say blood in, blood out? So Grand Admiral Adam would be the winner technically.
Oh, now these are good ones. Bonafide.
But there's some good ones here, though.
Yeah, there's some really good ones. Yeah,
These are
sorry.
some good ones,
that was the first one. Yeah.
But I believe that would be technically the first one. Oh, we're losing Paulie there.
Oh man, I have 3. Let's do 3.
Oh, you have 3 copies?
Oh, you have 3.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. So,
yeah,
let's see here. Paulie,
you pick.
Oh, we're gonna do the top 3 here.
Yeah,
but
we also have. I
out
already said René Delgado with Vatos Locos Forever, so that obviously is one. So that's 2. So there we have 2 winners right there.
And then Pew Pirate said Vatos Locos Forever as well. The next one in line. Can't be the same one.
Can't be the same. Has to be a different one. Can be no repeats.
That's good.
Nah, fight. All right. So TC, Rennie Delgado, and Grand Admiral Adam. Write them down and then give out your Twitter or your email or whatever you want to do in the chat here, and we'll set you guys up so you can get your copies.
Yeah, or reach out to us on Twitter and or reach out to Paulie on Twitter and he'll set you up with making sure you get that. So yeah, that was actually the first Midnight's Edge Español giveaway.
I mean, no pintos for you, baby. That's I think we should have said the best one because everyone knows Vatos Locos Forever, but hey, we can't change it now.
Well, I think there will be many more chances, so it'll be good.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, you said there was a video we have here, right? Right, Paulie?
Let's check it out.
Yep, it's a musical performance.
I got My Movie 33 first, whatever that is.
Ooh,
what's that then?
That's a little gift from me and the boys at the Midnight's Edge Español for you, Tom.
Okay, because I'm still converting and doing the other video, so you'll have to give me a minute on that.
Okay.
So let's do this one first then. Right. Unless, actually, you know what? You want to hold off on that, or do you want that right away? Doesn't matter to me.
You know, we can invite the Español boys.
Okay, we'll hold on to that. So while I'm getting this, if they're handy dandy, go for it. If not, I can play the Monday trailer real quick too.
Play the Monday trailer.
All right, let's check out the Monday trailer, guys. Anything you want to set up for this one, Alejandro?
Oh, no, man. Thank you so much for showing it. Guys, enjoy it. It's a couple of minutes, and this is what we did for $7,000 with no crew.
Absolutely. Here we go.
Oh, shit. You've been canned, and you'll need to clear out your things in the next 10 minutes.
Hey, is that necessary?
What are you doing?
I'm breaking over to you.
What am I gonna watch Game of Thrones for?
Don't you worry. You're gonna find someone new, and now you can afford to take her someplace romantic, right?
Hey, if I took your parking spot, I can move. You don't even get physical.
We need you to kill someone.
What?
Fucking dance.
Rush hour, towers to the top floor. Better climb that fucking ladder, no it's not yours. Hope you get a piece though, watch the top doors. They take the bull by the horns like a matador. Yeah, on the train next to Tom Ford.
Come on, man. Come on. You don't have stamina for shit, man.
Fuck you, man. I got asthma.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. Check that movie out.
That's fucking awesome.
Didn't you watch it, Rob?
I didn't get a chance to.
So Andre
Rob,
and I are the only ones that got a chance to watch it.
I hope you guys like it.
Rob, it's only an hour, man.
It is
only an hour, brother.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh,
But
that
that
was awesome."
but that would get in the way of my porn time.
That is very true.
For a whole hour?
Well, no, it's not.
Hello, everyone.
For a whole hour.
Yeah. Moving on from Rob's internet habits, I'm very happy to be able to introduce the rest of the core Midnight's Edge Español team. Pablo, aka Geek Tropology, and you know him from the chat, Diego Flores.
Mucho gusto.
Hola a todos. Hi, everybody.
Yes, so this is the main part of your crew over on Midnight's Edge Español, folks.
Let me tell you guys, besides these two gentlemen being big fans and followers of yours, these two gentlemen are extremely bright, opinionated, brilliant. I could not be happier, man. And Pablito, Dieguito, what's up, guys? Good to see you guys.
Arrancamos. Ah,
Yeah, I've been scanning your guys' work lately, and it's been looking great. There is one other person, though. Paulie. We got to bring in one other person, though. There's another person who's done a ton of stuff in the background for us here. And that, of course, is the one, the only Mexican Iron Man himself. Can't introduce the channel without him.
Where is he? Where's Mike?
Mike, you mute yourself.
Mike.
Hermano.
Mike.
Él está dormido.
Comió mucha chimichanga.
Rob, you got his entrance music ready?
I don't have my sounds up because the sounds are for
right.
the evening shows. I don't.
That's
know.
true. That's true.
Yeah, the kazoo is for the evening show too. I was gonna play it. Yeah.
But actually, Mike actually has his own theme music we play for him.
Here he comes.
Oh Lord.
Oh, and then we just lost Alejandro. Here he's back.
He doesn't have mascara on.
Get your mask on. Let's go.
He's got a luchador mask.
No, he's consulting with Mexican Jarvis.
Give a minute. 30 seconds.
Con Jorgito?
Javiercito. Okay, this is a joke that I did yesterday on Twitter, but I kind of got the idea for a small short, kind of like Bad Tom, but with Mexican Iron Man and his artificial intelligence, Javiercito, aka Mexican Jarvis.
Oh my goodness, look at that hat.
There he is, helmet and sombrero.
Iron Man. Mexican? Iron Man.
That has got to be like the world's smallest sombrero.
Well, yeah.
Believe me, they're smaller.
No, well, I'm just saying they're that big that's the world's smallest. Like that, yeah.
Hi, everybody. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Well, and we just wanted to say thank you, Mike, for all the help that you've done behind the scenes and getting Midnight's Edge Español off the ground, along with these guys here.
We're so excited. And when you guys have an idea, we go strategize, we think about it. We got great correspondence. We're building a great team. Andre, this vision you had, it's an honor to work with you guys, Rob, Tom, and Andre. It's an honor, and we know what a big deal it is, and we all take this super duper seriously. I can't wait in 10 days to come on the East Coast. I'm going to be on the East. I'm going to be 3 hours closer to Andre, out of California. I'm going to be much more helpful. Tax season ends on the 15th. Thank God. So we're excited.
You guys have been doing a great job and living up to the stereotype by outdoing my output by like 4 times over.
And I also have to say it's to have you all on board.
Oh, then we just lost.
Thank you very much, sir. And you know what? We start early. Be Mexican,
We start real early.
We start real early. But
yeah,
we're trying to figure out how can we get a weekly Rob segment. Yeah, we need a weekly Rob Cheech and Chong segment, so we're working on that.
I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
How would that go over with the audience, though? I mean, because, like, listen, it's not about me I offend people on a daily basis, okay? But it's you guys I'm worried about.
Brother, this is about two things, and this is why Andre, when he first threw the idea, like I was just floored. I looked at Polly on the StreamYard, and I was like, "Whoa!" We have two things going on in an era where none of us are supposed to like each other and hate each other, forget about the past, and build a new future that is not based in any reality, historical or current. We've got to rekindle that fire of all the things we love, La Bamba, all the stuff, whatever we used to love, the things we still love, and all the things that we have in common. Because you know what? I mean, it's like Andre. I told Paulie the other day, like, damn, Andre speaks better Spanish than I do. Dang. So
he speaks better English than I do.
It's about it's about coming together. Look, Rob, I'm gonna tell you something. When you first did that the first time, I was laughing. That's why I kept coming back every day and doing the super chats because I wanted to hear your impersonation again. I love you, brother. I love it.
Thanks.
Well, we appreciate you, Mexican Iron Man, because you gave us our first pass to be able to do Mex-Men, or that would have never happened.
I know. That's awesome. All right, love you guys. Can't wait to see you.
Hey, previously on the Mex-Men.
Sombrero.
Yes. Okay. On Star Wars hat. I like that Star Wars hat.
This shit is so small.
That's what I said.
We got Tom. We need to. I would love to be able to do like an animated version of Cheech and Chong as Stormtroopers.
Oh, that will be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh God, no!
Oh no! They're coming again, man!
Do it.
We did a whole shenanigans skit of what would it be like if Cheech and Chong were on the Death Star.
Oh, nice.
And they were the ones that were responsible for not stopping the rebels from getting it. Basically,
hey man, did you close the lid on the exhaust port?
No, man, I ain't stopping them. There's too many.
Man, I told you to do that, man. Now look, we gotta go out there with all these people flying around.
What's some kid in a fucking ship gonna do to the Death Star, man? Give me a break.
Oh yeah, man, yeah, man, yeah. But
what's he gonna do?
Hey, maybe he'll get pulled over by the cops first.
Yeah, right. Like you did. All right. Well, we got this video here that you sent me, Paulie. My movie thing you sent me. This is supposed to be a surprise. Do you need to set this up at all?
It's a little something.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Diego.
Disfrútalo.
All right.
Disfrútalo.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Breaking booty, shaking hands, get this fucking started. Iron glass, big brass, big little iron man. So fast, so fast, I'm so heavy, my head feels low. And you don't tell me what you don't know. The whole world's gone crazy, but that's don't worry, baby, I won't get away. Get down on your knees to me, baby, but I don't want you to break. Everything I wear looks like shit, but baby, I look good on you. Baby, if I knew just what to say, baby, you know what to do. First glance, last chance, love.
Okay, this comes from a stream that we did. We took a look at the KFC en Español Twitter account, and they don't even care about SJWs. One day we gotta do this on here. Actually, they are so meme worthy that they generated KFC Español en inglés. That's something that they did just because. And yeah, if you are not following, even Hill versus Babyface right now is following them. It's amazing. It's just the best memes you can ever find in Spanish. And it's KFC, so
that was amazing. The music was a bit distorted, but other than that, it was amazing. Yeah. Sorry for the volume, guys.
that was me. I'm gonna redo the sound, and I'll get it over to Tom. But it's the whole idea was to put your head, your face on Winnie the Pooh dancing.
Yes.
My goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
It's all
very,
love.
very cool.
When
Yeah.
I
But
hear
Latin
that
America-
music, it makes my booty shake.
Oh man. You know, there's a huge movement on Latin America, on Spain. We are kind of trying to repel wokeness. The wokosos, they are quite entrenched on our governments, on everything we have. And no, we are kind of tired of them. So that's how so many Latinos find out MEitM Edge Español and the other channel, MEitM Edge. The other channels on the Fandom Menace, because we kind of need an outlet that gives the reality of what's going on. We need a source of information that is truthful, and that's what you guys have been doing. And I know for a fact there's a lot of Latin American people around just because of that, just because of the love we had for these proprieties. And well, now we are fighting back, and this is our way of fighting back. Diego, I know you are kind of in the same.
Like in the same boat. Yeah, like I like here we are also having our little like revolution against the whole wokeness of industry, but fortunately, at least here in Peru, we're sort of still a bit of a bastion of sanity, because most people don't believe social media, most people don't believe in what they're saying. They're just more skeptical about it in general because of our culture it is. But still, people have tried to change it. I mean, they've even tried to appropriate and co-opt certain movies about the terrible times that we had in the 80s here in Peru, and try to change the message about them, even though it was a different message about, for example, unity as a country. They sort of trying to change it to be an idea of, no, this is just a story about how the higher ups oppressed the poor.
Yes. And even, our ancient history. The other day I was doing a bit of research on the Tolitas. We had the Incas, that was the biggest empire here on the south of the continent. And man, if you try to learn about the generals, about people that fought on the civil war for the Incas, about anything that happened, you'll get this homogenized version of history where the Inca Empire was basically Wakanda, and the Spaniards came and with tricks destroyed them, and actually the sun emperor, the sun god, died, and his sons had a fight for the throne. When that fight finished, the side from Huáscar, one of the king's sons, was so bitter about Atahualpa winning the war that they sold him to the Spaniards. And now we cannot say that in Spanish in our schools, because you get canceled. It's that simple. So what they did to our mythology, to our history, with this mindset, is happening with Star Wars, is happening with Marvel, and that's the Americana kind of mythology. And that's something that is really precious for everybody around the world. I don't know anyone that doesn't know who's Batman, who's Superman. Is integrated to ourselves, to our history, to our art, and that has to be preserved. That has to be protected.
Indeed. So yeah, Andre, let's get on those classic super chats.
Yes,
and
indeed.
so we can get to that awesome musical performance. Did Diego have anything to add to that before we move on? Though I didn't want to.
No. I was actually going to say to go back to the subject of super chats.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do a couple of the classic super chats. Again, we have a couple of more for you, and then I have a couple of questions for you guys. So the next one then is Dash D's, who says, "Oh my God, Paulie's had a stroke. His mouth and voice are out of sync, and his movements are staggered." Yeah, Paulie really needs to get on that. And
Battery's drunk.
Yeah. Andre's thick Nordic hammer says for $10, "I don't think today's writers are creatively bankrupt. They're morally bankrupt. Current heroes are committing utterly selfish acts because that's all woke people know. Yeah, this is a great point. And again, this is like some of the things that you'll be talking about on Midnight's Edge Español, because that's what I wanted to go through. So, like, yeah, obviously, like, you don't be avocoso. That is
Yes.
one important.
We
message
make
right there.
Andre say wokoso. That's an achievement in itself.
And beyond that, what other content do you have in store for us on Midnight's Edge Español?
Diego.
Yeah. Well, first thing is we have a few interviews coming soon, especially one with our own Romy Diaz, who is known as Mrs. Slant, where I actually did the interview both in Spanish and in Portuguese, because she is from a Portuguese Brazilian family, so sort of a different dynamic there. That's one of the things I'm actually waiting for it to come out soon.
Very, very cool. So yeah, absolutely, go subscribe for that, especially if you either are from a Spanish-speaking country, or you just want to learn Spanish, or just want to support the channel, because there are going to be some English in there as well. So we're not going to exclude everyone who isn't fluent. There will be some English as well. Okay, both myself and Tom and Rob will even appear there in live shows and everything.
That'd be great.
And our Spanish level varies from individual to individual, let us put it that way. And then, resuming the classic super chats, Dash D's says for another $10, thank you so much. Hey guys, where do you think the mid-ground is on things like physics and future tech or magic realism is in movies? You never hear a comic reader going on, oh, that can't happen after a good book is read. I think that there's bigger demands for realism, because I just know with myself that if the movie asks too much, I'm out of it. That's me.
I think it also depends on the fact that I can't remember who quoted it, but they said once that at one point technology could be so advanced that for people who don't understand the science behind it will seem like magic to them.
Arthur C. Clarke was the one who said that.
Yeah. So at the end, I mean, it's that thin line, because sometimes for a story it might seem magic, but it's actually science. The problem is if they don't understand how to explain the science, it sort of becomes a stretch on the viewers, demanding them to try to create the entire laws of physics that are required for this to work, some kind of thing. But I think at one point it will be something that where science and magic will be sort of interchangeable, at least in movies, because of that idea. Yeah. I don't know. What does the panel think?
Maybe.
We are kind of in the place where we are already in a world of magic, you know. Our kids run around with these thingies that are lining in a box, and they can summon golems to bring them treats. Just dial a number. That's magic. If you go to someone for 100 years ago, that's just magic. So we are at that point, and that's something that we have to realize and use in storytelling, because that's really powerful.
Yes, indeed. And then Dash D's also asks, what's the difference between a steward and a gatekeeper? Guys, what's your thoughts on that? Difference between a steward and a gatekeeper?
A steward is actually respects and wants to keep things safe. A gatekeeper just wants to keep people out. But but gatekeepers aren't necessarily bad, because the gatekeepers on the watchtower were the ones that prevented bad things from getting into the city.
I would also say that a steward is someone that takes care of the franchise. That's something that we really need more of. Whereas a gatekeeper, maybe that's something we could need more of as well, because I know that that's frequently used as a slur against toxic fans. We're talking about like, oh, we're just gatekeeping.
You
no,
see,
I don't think so. I don't think we are.
The other thing too, the steward has to realize that his job is only temporary. He has to leave it in a better place than when he found it.
That's the thing. And where someone like Kathleen Kennedy thinks, she goes, I'm the queen bitch around here, and so she just runs it into the ground because she just doesn't care. The steward almost has to be a father or a mother figure to a franchise.
Yes.
Has to nurture it, has to foster it.
Also, there's this concept of the. Oh, go ahead, Paul.
Listen, we got to be wary of the Latinx Wocoso gatekeepers of Hollywood.
Yes.
And we're trying to replace them one live stream at a time here on Midnight's Edge Español.
What I wanted to say is there's no gatekeeper for fandom. Fandom is a wall. You have to climb it to get in. There's no other way around. We have seen what people on like Amana. If you know comics, Amana is destroying comic books. She got the job because she knew someone on Disney, and that's that. She didn't climb the wall. She never researched what she was into. She never even cared about it. She's not a fan. The fans will go to Wikipedia, will go to any source they can find. That's why we have Wikipedia and the whole structure of fandom pedias is because people are that passionate and they want to know more and they want to do more. It's a wall. You climb it, you are in.
See, you almost have to think of like fandom and whatever you like as a garden. A garden, you have to nurture it. You have to help it grow. You have to fertilize it. But what we're seeing actually over the last few years is too many people, they come in and they just dig up everything, just plow up the earth and just like they just, slash and burn everything. I'm like, and then they wonder why everything's left in shambles.
Well, it's in shambles because they are focused on deconstructing. This deconstruction, deconstruction has another term, destruction.
Yeah.
If you dismantle something and you don't put it back, it's destroyed.
Exactly, my friend.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I agree. That's
yeah, and moving on with the super chats. Stephanie Yanisek Smuggler's Cantina said, "Hey guys, just got here. Oh well, glad you could join us." And NB Geeks, let's talk. Says Paulie on Mead. My fave gangster is kicking it. Oh, well, you just wait until you see him on Midnight's Edge Español. And Hyper Guyver 2 says, probably in reference to the movie Monday, does it have karate in it? Now, this is a very good question. So, Alejandro, does Monday have karate in it?
It indeed does.
Nice.
Good answer.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Can I ask? By the way, I had a blast listening to the last segment. But Diego Flores, are you the Diego Flores from Peru that we met during the Latino Slant?
Yes, I am.
Carnal, really nice to meet you, dude. We finally meet in person or virtually.
Yeah, you finally see the face. How are you?
Mucho gusto, bien, bien.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to add one more thing about the movie to everybody here. As I told Alejandro that day, that's one of the few movies, because I have a very small collection of movies I have always at hand, okay? And so I told Alejandro, this is one movie that even though it's a feature film, it's only about an hour long. It's one of those that I want to have it there with that small collection I have right at hand if I want to see a movie that's fun, because this thing is just fun. You don't have to it's just enjoyment, pure enjoyment from beginning to end. That's the best way to describe it without giving anything else.
I truly appreciate that, brother, honestly. And what you okay, so guys, that people like Andre, Tom, that didn't know, we did or I'm sure you did know, we did the Latino Slam where we talked about Monday with the actors. And Diego, I didn't know it was you, man, but Diego was one of the people that watched it. And Diego, what you said to me, dude, is one of the biggest compliments in as an artist, that I'm already, like I said, I'm already working on printing 10 Monday Blu-rays and covers. And I want to send you a couple of them so you can give them to your friends, man, because someone like someone as a supporter that supports the indie projects like we all are, we really appreciate it, man. So I I'll get on Instagram and shoot you a message so I can send you a couple of Blu-rays of Monday.
I will thank you very much.
Very cool.
And I will be excited to watch them again.
Yeah. And moving on with the classic super chats. Aurora Uplink says for $10. You know what is really wrong with Ironheart? There's actual examples of a 7-year-old black girl stopping someone from shooting her mom. Instead, she got shot 6 times. Give her the Iron Man suit. Reality is a hard place. Little else to say about that. And Mags sent us a heart super sticker. And Daniel Nowlan says, have you heard about the Kindergarten Cop cartoon that premiered this week? Arnold does the voice and Stan Lee is listed as a producer. I have literally not heard about that until this very second.
Same here.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's no
we'll
way.
have to check that out. Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting and news to all of us. And then Yellow Flash 2 is here, and he says Brie Larson is getting sidelined in her own movie. LOL.
Yeah, I kind of pointed that out too. Yeah.
Kind of looks that way, doesn't it? Kind of looks that way.
I'm really glad that Yellow Flash is here because he knows his comics. He really knows it from top to bottom. And oh man, Stan Lee, when he was just about to leave this world, he passed away. He said that he wanted to go to bed and die because of what was going on around him. His lawyer, Disney, dealing him dirty. There was a lot of things, and now they try to elevate Stan Lee after what they did. So that's and I know people on Yellow Flash chat, they think about that all the time, and they have said exactly the same. Is disrespectful for Stan Lee how they are using him. When he was alive, they didn't give a damn. So
yeah. Yellow Flash knows all about those things, and Stan Lee will be missed. And it was sad what happened towards the end there. But moving on, Nicholas H says, never ceases to amaze me what a great community this is. ME, FNT, EFAP, guests and chat made this year bearable. Hail and thanks. No, thank you all. Thank all of you who was watching, everyone in the community, because it's you guys that helped make this what it is. And we couldn't have done what we do without you guys. So this is a joint effort that we were in together to help each other out of the current situation, which we're still not fully over. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it together. And then finally, Dash D's says, follow up then, please. Where would Sarkeesian types who think they're stewards be considered? I think he probably means like Anita Sarkeesian or whatever her name is. What they would be considered? Yeah, I would simply say narcissists. That's what they would be considered. Cultural vandals and narcissists. That's my answer. Yes. But I'm willing
Cultural
to hear
vandals is more appropriate, I think.
Yeah, but I'm willing to hear any Spanish alternative suggestions.
Pendejos.
That's not. Let's leave it at that.
I like that.
I mean, anytime it's about pendejadas, yeah, man, you got to use a pendejo. It's all-purpose.
No, I also think that vocoso and vocosas is also a pretty nice and fitting term.
Que siempre salen con sus vocosadas, pues. Vocosada is kind of vocally done.
But yeah, and with that, we are fully caught up with the super chats. We still have a musical act to debut for you all. But before we do, Paulie, is there some other message that you want to give the audience? Like, when should people next go on to Midnight's Edge Español to catch the first live shows and everything?
Well, it looks like we're up to 70 subs at the moment around there. So please go on over and sub. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, Pablito, Dieguito, and myself, we will launch our first live stream on the channel officially. We'll have PJ from Orville Nation as our guest. As you know, PJ is totally fluent. He's a Spaniard, right? De Español? De España?
PJ, yeah.
Yeah.
From when we talked to him, yeah.
Yeah, no say. And we'll be going over all the, kind of daily events that y'all go over as well. But we'll have some musical acts and some interviews. But tomorrow, guys, 9 a.m. And I can't thank you guys enough. Can't thank Andre enough, and Tom, and then Rob.
No, the chat is flooding us with love, I have seen the comments from Liam Nelson's Chin, from Rene Montoya. We have a lot of people. Also, Krusty Moko, go back to being Krusty Moko. Rene Delgado, the laps. Yeah, Rene Delgado, go back to being Krusty Moko. I need that Cantinflas picture. And that's something that we should actually, at one point, see on Midnight's Edge. Something about Cantinflas, something about Chespirito, the comedians from Latin America that made a huge impact. I know for a fact that El Chavo del Ocho from Chespirito was translated to Japanese.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool indeed.
I know everyone knows. Me lleva, ¿cómo se llama? Eugenio Derbez, everyone knows him.
Oh, yes.
Oígame. But for me, dude, my favorite character, there was this character called Super Portero.
God.
He's a goalie, right? But he's like, he pretends he's a superhero, kind of like the guy from Pete and Pete, Arnie. But his whole purpose of the segments was any word that resembles some sort of trademark, he would have to stop it. So he's constantly stopping production. That was my favorite character of his. It cracked me up every time.
You remember Alejandro? Remember the band in the remember the band in the Adventures of Pete and Pete? They used to do the theme song.
Of course.
Yeah, Polaris. That they're actually a real band called Miracle Legion, and the guitar player was married to this girl who's the sister of one of my friends.
No way.
Yeah, I swear to God.
So if I have a box set of Pete and Pete, we can get it autographed.
Yeah, maybe. I think he's living in Scotland now, though.
Eesh, that's far away, dude. I love that show, Pete and Pete. Man, what a good show!
It was really good.
Did you guys see the documentary, the Nickelodeon documentary, The Orange Days?
No, I haven't. Oh, I'll have to see that.
Oh, you guys should check it out. It's basically why it was created and how it was, how they jumped from original programming to cartoons to networks to sports shows. It's really good, man. So it takes you down a really cool nostalgic road. But not only that, but it was incredibly ahead of its time and progressive, but like what we like without it smashing you on the head. It's really good documentary. You guys should check it out.
Oh,
very
man.
Cool. Thanks for
in
that
the chat,
recommendation.
Someone mentioned El Chapulín Colorado. That's a superhero from Latin America, from Mexico. So that's from Chespirito, and is actually a lame superhero. He doesn't have any real power, so he fails at everything, and that's the joke. That's the whole joke of the show. But oh man, I wish
everything, and then he tries to play it off all cool, like, well,
yes,
I did it on purpose. No, I tripped, so then the other guy couldn't see me, and that was great.
Lo tenía fríamente calculado. That means like I had it completely calculated or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, he tries to play as everything that he does is perfectly done, and no, he's a messed up, and that's what's lovely on that character. And I really wish we could see more of him, but yeah, there's a lot of legal issues on that side. So,
Evidently, yes. And then we have a super chat from Adam Wofford who says, "Hey, Paulie, you need to get rid of AOL and get a new internet service." So yeah, you can very easily tell that AOL is not the sponsor of Midnight's Edge right here. And it continues, also, every time you guys speak Spanish, I have to get a doctor to tell me what you guys are saying. Well, it's so great with family members who speak Spanish, isn't it?
Yeah, why are you asking the doctor?
I think daughter.
Daughter.
Oh, get a daughter.
oh,
That's why it was
Get a
funny.
daughter.
that makes more sense.
I just,
But
Doctor, yeah, that was my bad. So yeah, he said daughter,
Andre-
not the doctor.
Andre, how many languages do you speak? You speak like 5, right, or something like that?
Well, how many that I speak like absolutely fluent? It's like that's like Norwegian and English. But if you just go into can I get buy-in, then the number goes up to 5. Yes.
Okay, let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 more than I do. So okay.
So yeah. And with that, we are actually fully caught up on super chats. So everyone, do check out the movie Monday by Alejandro Marin. The link is in the description. So is the sequel comic Tuesday, which is on Amazon. And we're not quite done with super chats yet, because HyperGyver 2 says, if you're looking for someone to blame for the current state of Marvel, blame Joe Quesada. He's the hat that hired Sana Amanat. And I believe she's the one that did a self-insert with Captain... Who's she again? Like,
Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel.
Miss Marvel. Oh, yeah.
Or as I call her, Fisty McGee, because she has this big fist.
By the way, mana. Mana.
yes.
HyperGyver, did you read this one?
Yeah, Kazoo.
If you're looking
That's the
for
only
someone to
Kazoo you'll get
blame-
on the day show.
Did you guys read this one already?
The one from HyperGyver?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally just
Okay.
now.
Yeah, my internet keeps cutting out. Sorry. It's like
Oh, that's fantastic.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, and with that, then we have a musical performance.
Yes, we
Paulie,
do.
did you want to
Paulie.
set that up?
Tom,
Yes.
I told you I don't do the kazoo on the day show.
No, put it away.
I just wondered if we got to hear it though.
I was
Tonight.
Monday.
You guys said the kazoo was only for the night show, so we heard it. That's a little.
Yeah.
Right?
I bend the rules sometimes, and hope Andre doesn't get too pissed off.
You bend the rules of time?
Yes, I bend the rules. I'm actually speaking to you from the future. Yes.
So yes, but yes,
All right, so,
again,
what was that, Andre?
yeah. So yes, we would like to say thank you to Alejandro Marin for joining us, and to Diego and Pablo and Paulie, the new powers that be at Midnight's Edge Español, which is now up and live and running with 3 videos for you to enjoy and plenty more to come. Link is in the description and all of that, so do go and check that out. And also, thank you to everyone that have been watching here today. And we are going to leave you with a wonderful musical piece. Now, Paulie, what can you tell us about the music that we will be ending on today? Paulie,
you're mute. By the way, 75 subscribers on Midnight Español already, so thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Paulie, yes, now we can hear you. Now we can't hear you. So wonderful.
All right.
Well, the beauty
All right.
is that
Hello?
it's not going to be
Hello?
like this. Oh, yes, I hear you now.
Okay.
So, Paul,
this song
take it
is called
away.
Resurrection.
How's that the
This
internet
song-
on? Diego, the internet.
Hello.
Woke in a deepening twilight, surrounded by the grass on the hill. The leaves were breathing heavily, yet the night was strangely still. I'm afraid she's there, touching my head. It resembles the sound of death. There is nothing really to fear, I said. God just holding his breath. Then the ghost of a thousand suns came shining through the trees and relieved my soul. Oh, all the fears my bones were blaze ever for me. I'm not afraid anymore. As we lay by the bay of tranquility, I'm breathing in the third love. I sometimes wonder who or what created calls above. All the sweet so virgin and green, and all I hear is command. I'm on a man, on a mountain. I just smile and understand.
All right. And we lost Paulie in the process of all that. But thank you so much, guys. And we want to thank Jeff for coming in earlier. And we also want to thank Alejandro for coming in here and talking to us about Monday. Thank you so much for being here, Alejandro. Anything to say before we check out?
No, man. Thank you so much to everyone. It was great to meet you guys. It was great to chat with everyone. My Instagram is my full name, Alejandro Montoya Marin, all one word. And yeah, I will had a blast. Had a blast. We'll love to come back. Thank you so much for having me, guys. Thank you so much for checking out Monday.
Sounds good. And we'll definitely have you back. And Diego and Pablo, thanks for coming in too at the last minute to help us announce the soft launch of Midnight's Edge Español. So go on over there and check that out. Andre, anything to say before we go?
No, again, I just want to say thank you to everyone in the panel, to Alejandro Montoya Marin for joining us and talking about his movie, and to Diego and Pablo, and of course to Paulie, who is having some internet issues, but that won't last long because he's not in his home right now. He is helping Mexican Iron Man relocate. So he'll be back soon. So the tech issues that we've had now, well, that's like a fun little quirk. It's not going to be an issue going forward. And going forward, the place to check out is absolutely Midnight's Edge Español. So do check the link in the description for that. And with that, I believe it's time for some koalas in the rain.
Oh, yeah. Any moment now.
Any moment now.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given. Koalas in the rain.